live. You know, coming back or getting drafted. Donovan clinging the first round lottery. Salute, y'all. Let's get back at this conversation, bro. I had to step out for a second. Tap back in. Make sure y'all come back in. Let's finish this conversation. For real. So people get the notifications that we live. It's your boy HARDWILL. Gotta start going live more. Some of this great NBA conversation we gotta have. It's real out here. Like I was saying earlier, salute. If you're new here, please smash the like button. Subscribe. If you're new to the page, write your name in there for a shout out. Get some more people in here. Appreciate the like too. Whoever that is, shout out to you. But yeah, some more people coming here. I want to talk about some of the picks. It's a lot of picks going on right now. I'm hearing Bronny went to the Lakers. Who would have thought? I kind of knew. I know some Laker fans right now are done. They are pissed. Yo, Pope, if you listening, pull up, man. You've been a Laker fan, and things ain't going the way most Laker fans wanted to go. So if you're a Laker fan, I want to know how you feel about the Lakers picking Bronny James. But I want to say this about Bronny. From me, I've watched Bronny. You know, Stephon Castle played against Bronny when he was a little guy. So I happened to see Bronny on the circuit. You know, McDonald's All-American game. Before that, I have seen him play a lot. He's not as bad as people make it out to be him to be. And I think what people got to take into consideration is that when your father could play basketball that well and his kids love the game, all those kids have to do is learn the game from their father, who's one of the best at it. And it's easy for him to show and see, no, if this is the best way. When you're in this situation, this is how you handle it. And I've seen recent footage of LeBron working out with his kids, and I just want to commend him on that, because who better to learn from? Your father. He's the greatest. And I think one of the greatest, a lot of the criticism come from the pressure that they expect Bronny to be so good because he's LeBron's son. If he wasn't, he wouldn't receive the same, he wouldn't get critiqued the same way. To me, he's better than some guys that they already selected in this draft. You see a lot of guys fell, you know, like Zach Edey first round. There was a lot of shockers. Bob Carrington from Pitt was drafted off of a short stint, but congratulations to him. A lot of guys that were drafted you never heard of, be honest. And a lot of guys are from France. So that means that I think I was watching it on Gil's Arena, and Gil wasn't saying this. It was more like Brandon Jennings was trying to say, and I think Al was saying it too, that the French is taking over. And I don't agree fully yet, but we have to take that the top picks were Frenchmen in this draft. And what that means is the NBA is just going more global, you know, which is smart for the NBA. Because the difference, let me tell you the difference. When you outside of the country and the NBA take you, the people from that side, wherever you're from, are going to support you more than a player that may come from America or the States. I'm not saying that he won't get support if he's a good player. Most likely players from the state that get support, they get support from something other than their support system. If you understand what I'm saying. Because they could play. A lot of people just support them or they're a fan of them. We get that. But we talking about guys that come from other countries. The whole country get behind them, buy their jersey, travel to support them. all type of stuff. So it's a marketing move for the NBA to draft more guys from outside of the country, especially if these guys can play and the guys in the States aren't that big of a difference right now. And at one point it was a difference. Now it's starting to be more debatable. Reference to what you looking for. It looks like the NBA are looking for more Euro big. And the Euro bigs are guys with height that could dribble the ball because they was going to high school or junior high school, let's say, being taught how to play basketball. Let's keep that in mind. Appreciate that. Who that? Silk, salute. Appreciate that. Love is love. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Salute, Corey Lee. Salute, Daniel Burry again. And Silk, I appreciate that. But yeah, and that's just real, you know. And like I said, Tyler KOLEK to the Knicks. That's a great pickup. When you see the kid play, he handles the ball well. He has a great IQ to make good decisions. He's not going to hold the ball. He's a great law passer. Different things about Tyler KOLEK should fit with the Knicks culture. Like I said earlier, Rob Dillingham was drafted by the Spurs and traded to Minnesota. When I was at the draft and I was sitting there and I heard the Spurs called out Rob Dillingham, there's no diss to Rob. It didn't make sense to me why they would draft Castle and then Rob on the same team. Because I know they, in my mind, I think they drafted Castle because they see Castle as a point guard for the future or however soon they start that project. I already knew he was a point guard. If that's what their plan is, then that's a good plan because as a point guard, his jump shot is not the way people made it seem. So as a point guard, when your jump shot improves, you'll be able to knock down shots and you'll be hard to guard because you're so big and can handle the ball. You've seen it Final Four or the NCAA tournament, or you could go back into the season when UConn played against Providence, all these different teams. You could go on YouTube and put in Providence versus UConn and hear what the coach said after the game when the lady or the guy in the press asked him, was your plan, how do you feel about your plan leaving Castle open? And that was a lot of team strategy. They thought and now don't get me wrong, he didn't make every shot. It was it was a decent percentage. But by the time they got to the Final Four, if you remember that game when Purdue did that, he hit the first couple of threes, if I'm not mistaken, because they was leaving him open. They was basically thinking he got to take the shot. They'll rather live with him taking the shot than other guys. And I think that, when a guy makes a shot, that gives you confidence, seeing the ball go in the hoop. And if you don't shoot the ball, then the defense will continue to sag off of you and make you keep shooting the ball, and you're not going to attack the rim that way. So it puts you in a bad position. So you have to shoot the ball if they leave you open if you play basketball. That's very important. We always speak about things like that. You have to be ready to shoot the ball. No way you could be on a court nowadays and they could leave you open. That would be a liability in the NBA. So you got to at least, if the three ain't there, you could take a step in because they're going to leave you open so you still can step into your shot. So it's a lot of things that you could see if you go back and do your research. You had to prove yourself on that stage. And you could look at the footage and see what certain players can do. Do they fit on the teams that they're drafted to? Dalton Knecht is a great pickup for the Lakers because Dalton Knecht is another late bloomer that got drafted as a great. He was a lottery. He was in the first round. He's not a lottery. He's a first round pick. What pick was Dalton Knecht? Let me see. If anybody in the chat remind me what pick Dalton Knecht was. What pick did Dalton Knecht get drafted? Need a list so I could go over the list of all the players that I know that I've seen from either the McDonald's game. Miami Heat got Ware, the big kid from Indiana. Word about him was that his motor, He never looked at like he wanted to play, but the kid always had talent. He was a McDonald's All-American last season. No, 2 seasons ago, excuse me. I think was his second year at Indiana, if I'm not mistaken. He was a McDonald's American the year before Castle was. And Bronny, Castle, Collier, and all of them was in the same McDonald's All-American game. I was there. Yeah, please hit the like button. If you're new here, subscribe. Smash the like button, share the show, let people know we live. But like I was saying, yeah, I was able to go around to my nephew's games and see a lot of these kids play. Like I told you guys with Bronny, don't believe the hype. He had a heart problem, was a setback for him. He's athletic. He shot the ball the best in the combine. I forget what shot it was, off the catch, off the bounce, but Bronny shot the ball very well. And that just goes to show you the things that they judge them on reference to what we judge them on are different when they get to the combine. You know, shout out to everybody in the chat that's just pulling up. If I ain't see you in a while, what's good? Hopefully you still subscribe. If you're not, make sure so you can know we live. Shout out Pete, shout out Hinton, Corey Lee, whoever else is here. Write your name in the chat so I can shout you out. Hopefully we're going to get Stephon up here shortly. Let him have an interview and let him tell y'all, you know, about his experience. And, you know, he did a lot. You know what I'm saying? I got some stuff I could go over. Let me see. For instance, right? Castle. I'm going to put this on the camera. Right? In a Final Four game. You see? These are numbers don't lie. Rookie. Look at the names he on there with. Okay, if you didn't see the Final Four, you know, Stephon Castle could have been most valuable player. I'm glad Tristan Newton got it because he needed more accolades under his belt. And congratulations to him, like I told you guys earlier. Now he's on Indiana Pacers. So I was happy that he got it to help him get to the league. But just to show how hard it is to break these numbers, once the numbers roll out, then you have an understanding on why kids get drafted where they get drafted at. Some people said Steph could have went number one. Stephon, I don't think he worked out with Atlanta. The number 2 pick that went to the Wizards, I don't think he worked out with Atlanta. Richier, the French kid, he worked out with Atlanta. Also, he played on Wembanyama's team. I think he's a decent player, honestly. You know, you would have to look up his games and see his games more. I never seen enough footage of the young man that came out the number 1 pick. When you look down, how you break down how it go from 1 to 12, I think it's a breakdown of 12 million from the number 1 pick in the draft, far as salary. And I think as you go from 1 to 2, it's about $1.5 million difference. And it keeps going $1.5 million difference, or $1 million and change difference as you go down. So from 12 to the number 1 pick, 12 and change, to 11 or 11 and change. You see what I'm saying? And all the way through. That's the way it's broken down. And the second round players get paid. I think it was around 1 point. It was in the low $1 million range, depending on, or maybe 2 million, depending on the spot that you came out. Like player like 30th pick was like 2.5 million, around that range, if you don't know how players' salary is as a rookie for the first 4 years. I had the list. I'll post it, but just to give you an example on what's the difference from 1, 2, 3, and so on. Yeah, I feel you, Pete. It's a lot of kids in this draft that I really didn't know much about, to be honest with you. I didn't know much about them, and I would just want to say that hopefully the NBA, they did their due diligence. You know what I mean? So, you're gonna waste a pick. But I was hearing that the Hawks really didn't want to pick the first pick. They wanted to trade it, but it wasn't enough time for them, or nobody didn't want to give up enough substantial picks for this draft's #1 pick. So Atlanta wound up just using their pick, and they was forced to pick Richier because a lot of players did not work out for Atlanta. Now, could Atlanta still drafted one of those players? Maybe, but you don't want to draft a player that didn't even want to come and work out for you. So that's how that goes a lot. A lot of players don't work out for certain teams that they don't fit on or that they think they won't play on. Agents know how to, especially if you don't have to go to certain teams to work out or you don't have to play in a group workout. Like Bronny James had to work out in a group workout with against other players. Some players did not have to do that. Some players had private workouts with the teams that they chose that they wanted to go work out for. So you got to understand where Bronny coming from. He coming from the mud, and that's LeBron James' son, having to play against second-round guys and guys that's really trying to get it through the mud. That makes Bronny a better player, if you ask me. So just to put that out there, they kind of putting Bronny through the ringer, but that's going to work out in his favor because when you put me up against guys that, is fighting to get into the league to survive, and I don't have to survive off of this. I'm going to be all right already. That makes me have to deal with that type of, hunger in the game, that type of level of some dudes come out there and they don't have a father with money like LeBron James. They balling out for their whole family, especially how much money you make now. Brown and Tatum, look at the numbers on how much money they make now. So you know your family's in a certain position or not on the level you want them to be, and you got an opportunity to get out there and ball out. You're gonna ball out even more hard. You know what I'm saying? Reference to a guy who like I'm already got bread. But that's another thing. You got to think about that too. College players get paid now. There's gonna be a lot of college players who get that bag from college and crash out. They may not even make it to the draft because they already get millions. That's why a lot of college coaches don't want to coach college basketball no more. If you do your research, they said they're not with it because it's hard enough to coach them kids. Now you have to coach kids in college that's making millions of dollars with attitudes, going to buy this, buy that. That stuff mess you up. You're not locked in the gym like before they was making money in college because your whole bag is coming from when you get drafted in the draft. That's going to hit your account. That was the whole motive. Even though I'm happy college kids get paid now because of the fact of that. Some kids won't go pro. So at least these kids get to make some money. They make a lot of money for the schools. The schools sell out the arenas, the merch, the concession stands. So the kids deserve money. But the kids who are trying to have an NBA career and could have an NBA career, they can't let that money mess their head up and, detour their plan because you get money, you lose a little hunger. You start saying, well, I got a couple million already, but you could have made 100 million or 200 million, but you got comfortable. And that's another thing why they doing that, because they know we not good with Brad. And it's not only that, that money was old. Like the retro money should be given out to college players as well. And I think that's what should be done. Or I heard about that's what's going to be done. And I feel like by law, that should have to be done. If you paying guys, that just proves that you've been exploiting players for all this time. That's an easy win if you fight that. Just figure out how much retro and how far back. That's what the colleges got to fight for. But moving forward, I am happy that Bronny got drafted to the Lakers because now this keeps LeBron on the Lakers, and we get to really see Bronny and his father play together because that's really all what LeBron said he wanted. was to play with his son, and then he can retire. And I feel like LeBron already, he did a lot. So you don't never want to do too much and mess up your brand. And I think as an OG, if you play too many more years, you could start to receive criticism just for still playing, thinking you giving us what we want. And then dudes already feel like they don't want to see you play no more. But they already was people who didn't like you too, though, Bron. So you ain't really got to care. Yeah, the Public Enemy, salute. Nah, let me tell you why that happened like that. Tristan Newton only went in the second round because he's like a fifth-year guy. He went to, I want to say, Eastern Michigan, if I'm not mistaken. But Kamani Young went out and got Tristan Newton to transfer to UConn. And he did 2 years at UConn. He got an extra year. So just like KOLEK and Edie, these guys have been in college for years. And if you ask me, Tristan Newton should have been in one of those guys' spot due to the fact that he won championships back to back. But you can't break it down that way. Let me tell you why. The team that has those picks have to go with what they feel that their team needs. And we have to put Tristan Newton on the board and compare him to what those teams needed, to be fair. If they picked Zach Edey, maybe they needed a big. Or we don't know. Maybe they're going to flip Zach Edey. Right? We don't know. But that's how you got to look at it. Some teams have a lot of guards already. They're guard heavy. But I can tell you like this. It don't matter where you get picked at. Look at the MVP, the Joker. See? I think Tristan Newton is a great fit for the Indiana Pacers. Smash the like button if you didn't already smash it. Come on. Subscribe if you didn't already subscribe. Support the channel. You know we don't get paid to do this. It's all about our likes and subscribers. You know, to get the word out on how we cover sports, what we think. And in the chat, we get to compare what we think. You know, I answer anybody. Don't I? My man said. Yeah, but Pete Filipkowski, he didn't even come out in the first round. Maybe he should have went back to school. If you play for Duke and he's a big that does more than a regular big, than what's the word I'm looking for? You know, a typical big. He's not your typical big. He's a little more Euro big, right? Well, he's more like a 4 in the NBA. But him not being drafted in the first round proves that he probably should have went back to college. Filipkowski. Oh, yeah, the Public Enemy. Baycott is lucky that college basketball started. He's a great example of college players needing to make money from college because he get destroyed in college. So you know what they would do to him in the NBA, bro. Like for real. Baycott, I'm glad he made nice money off North Carolina and his NIL and the deals that he got. Because to me, he just don't look like he fits in the NBA. And I don't know if he this might be his last year. If he got another year, that's amazing. That's amazing if he got another year. I would have to say that. That's amazing. For real. He said he was one of the top players. Yeah, but the ACC is weak. UConn beat UNC. UConn, listen, the freshman from UConn, Caden, what's his last name? He's the guy that made UConn pop. It's a couple other guys. And they got Captain Jack now. So now you're gonna see what somebody electric look like when Captain Jack is out there. And I think he played the same position as I don't want to say his name wrong. Camden. Let me look up his name. The freshman from last year. I think he's from New York too. Yeah, let me get his name for y'all. Yeah, my bad. It's Elliot Cadeau. Cadeau is from New York. I know that. Cadeau was the person that came in there, and I knew he was going to be good. His game remind me of Jared McCain's. They got a similar game, and shout out to Jared McCain. Was drafted. He deserves it. You know, he had a great year. You know, I was happy that he was drafted. Shout out to him as well. All right, let's look at the list. Let's look at the list. We're going to go over the list for anybody here that don't know where people were selected, and then I'll give my breakdown if I know about this player or not. That's how we're going to do it. Okay? You know the Hawks drafted Zachary Ricochet from France. I told you guys already, I don't know much about him. I know he played with Wemby, and he can handle the ball, and they say he has a decent shot, and his upside is pretty good. The Public Enemy. It don't matter if you got more teams, more games on TV, bro. I'm looking at the team itself. They weak, bro. That point guard that they got been there for like 8 years, just like Boycott, the kid you was mentioning. And he went back to school. And he be dropping like 40. You know who I'm talking about. I could go back and pull up his name too. The kid with the braids. You know who I'm talking about. That team is not lit. Sorry, it's not. Hubert Davis kind of made them better coming in there coaching because he's going to coach. You need to be coached. And then it got to be a coach that the players going to listen to and buy into. Hubert Davis is a former player. So maybe he was able to tap in with the players. They had a decent run. But that team to me wasn't, maybe they signed up for that TV schedule prior. You know that's how that go, right? Because they already know UNC fan base, and most of the time the players that come in there, they gonna have a good team or a decent team. So they don't be on TV. That's how that go when you bleed blue. That's how that go. They're gonna be on TV, bro. But guess what? Now it's a new blue. That's UConn. They may knock them out, and you may not see them as much if they don't get busy. Now Captain Jack going in, so they may get busy this year. But if they don't step it up, you ain't gonna see them on TV that much. Because now it's another team that part of that bleed blue. They finally have to put UConn in that conversation. But UNC haven't been really that good in a while, bro. Be honest with you. A lot of teams haven't. Look at Auburn. They paid the coach from Auburn all that money, and they haven't won nothing since. They're supposed to get the top players too, but you know what it is? They bring in the same type of player. If you're going to bring in 4 of the same players with the same playing style, you got them competing for the same minutes. And now you need players to fill other spots because you keep bringing in the same type of player. That's not good. That's probably happened with Collier. He was a little undersized, and then he went to the school with Bronny. South Carolina, they had, Boogie. They got Boogie Ellis. I think that's his name. You know what I'm saying? So you got to know what school to go to. And another thing, when Castle picked UConn, you know what everybody was saying? You know what he told me? What made you pick UConn? UConn ain't lit. And I'm going to tell a story, right? I was going to UConn games 2 years before Steph played a year before Klingon played, because Donovan Klingon used to be sitting on the sidelines with us watching the game a whole season before he played there. 2 seasons before Steph went there. Steph committed to them 2 years in advance. And I remember they had this short point guard. He went overseas. If anybody in the chat know who I'm talking about, write his name in the chat. The point guard from UConn. Damn, I just had his name in my head. He was a short point guard. He wasn't trash. But if you say his name, you know who I'm talking about. If you can remember. When I used to watch them play against Now you going too far back, Pete. Hold on, let me look it up. I'll tell you his name right now. I'll tell you his name right now. Google always save us. I think his last name is Brown. Hold on. Anybody write it? Let me see. Nobody don't know. Come on, y'all. Y'all don't know who was the point guard for UConn? Let me see. UConn squad 2020. Here we go. Okay, RJ Cole. Anybody? See, I'm gonna start giving out prizes. I'm gonna start giving out free shirts, all type of shit. If you could guess without me having to Google who I was trying to name. His name is RJ Cole. If you guys can see that. Sorry, it's a little fuzzy. RJ Cole was the point guard on UConn. Sanogo was there, but Sanogo probably was in his second year. Jackson, that went to the Bucks, was probably in his second year. Hawkins wasn't there yet. I watched them. They lost to a lot of teams. You know, hold on, this is my guy right now. I only answer certain people when I'm live. I can't answer anybody while I'm live. I'm live right now on my podcast, and I only answer to this guy right here. This is Hollywood Chuck. This is one of the biggest. This is one of the biggest promoters in New York City right here. You know what I'm saying? I'm on live right now, and I'm only answering because that's my boy. Yo, what's good, y'all? What's good, y'all? Yeah, I'm live right now talking about the draft, and I'm talking about the Knicks getting, Tyler KOLEK. I got a chance to watch KOLEK all season at Marquette. So, I'm in here chopping it up with a few people. As soon as I get off of here, I'll hit you right back. Hit me back. Definitely. I got you. All right, bro. Yeah. So, a lot of people calling to say congratulations to me and the fam. Congratulations to my sister, and my brother-in-law, Stephon Castle, my nephew, if you don't already know, if you're new here. He was drafted at number 4 yesterday. Whole family is hoarse. Everybody is excited. So I'm getting a lot of calls, and certain people that may hit me, I got to answer. You know what I'm saying? Friends forever type business, all type of stuff. So shout out to Hollywood Chuck, one of the biggest promoters in New York. He wrote with DJ Clue. He wrote with. He's big in the party scene. If you're an older guy, middle age, and you want to go to a nice spot, he got Ben's Crab in Long Island. He got different spots, so you can look them up and you can see if you're around the New York area where you can go have a good time with smooth crowd, But let's get back to the meat and potatoes of things, right? Okay, a lot of people don't understand that why the number 4 pick is a great pick, and why for the Spurs, and why I wanted the Spurs to pick Stephon. I predicted the Spurs to pick Stephon. Stephon Castle does not play the game hunting shots. He does not play the game. He makes decisions in a mix of things. Yeah, I was there, Corey Lee. Of course, I was in the building, man. The luncheon, I went to everything, man. I was in the building. But like I said, he doesn't hunt shots. He's gonna make the right play. And if you can imagine, go look at some footage of UConn when he was doing pick and roll with Donovan Clingan or Samson Johnson or any other athletic player on UConn and the passes that he throw. So Wembanyama is going to be very, very excited to play with Stephon Castle. And where's my guy, Greg? I need Greg. If anybody know Greg, let me tweet Greg right now, man. I got to get Greg on here right now. Get Greg on here, man. He's a Spurs fan. Tap into any Spurs fan. I want to say salute. You know, you got my nephew. You got a great player. Your organization is going to make him better. You're going to be very, very happy on how this team improves with this kid. Trust me, it's not just because of my family, because before he went to UConn, I've been telling people that follow me, I'm just trying to give them the information on all the players that I've seen and what I think through my opinion. And I just want people to see I'm not biased. I just tell it like it is. My background is basketball. I'm a trainer. My niece played for NC State. Her name is Isaiah James. And my nephew is Stephon Castle. We got a background of basketball in my family. Stephon's father played for Oak Hill and Wake Forest. His name is Stacy Castle. He went there before Tim Duncan, before Chris Paul. These are the guys who taught me how to play basketball. So basketball is all through my family. That's all we know. That's all, not all we know, but that's all we did growing up was play basketball at a high level. I went to Laurinburg Prep. You know, we had a crazy schedule. We played on UNC court against AJV. Oak Hill, like we had a crazy schedule. When I went to Laurinburg Prep, I was coached by the legendary coach Gil Reynolds from Uptown New York. Guys like Kurt Smalls was on my team. You know, then a couple of my guys from New York that was a little younger than me wound up going there the year after me. You know, their schedule was like against Hargrave and, you know, when Tracy McGrady was there and stuff like that. And I grew up playing in New York against Stephon Marbury and Skip and Ron Artest, Elton Brand. Some of these dudes know me by first name. They call me Jahad, just to let y'all know. I just don't. I go by Hardwill now, or they call me Coach Will. But growing up, they call me Jahad out there on the court. So I just wanted to let y'all know my whole family follows basketball, you know, traveling to go watch Stephon play. I got a chance to see a lot of these kids that's getting drafted right now. So I'm giving you my honest feedback on what I think about them, stuff that you probably didn't get a chance to see. Can they shoot? Are they a good player? Do they play team ball? Do they hunt their shot? All that kind of stuff, man. A lot of these players have a bad name like Bronny. He's better than what the media and everybody portray him to be. He's better than that. And you'll see it because he just want to play the right way, the way they, you know, projecting him to be. Shout out to my guy, Paris Duggar, man. I ain't see you in a while. Good to see you, man. Thanks, man. Yeah, right? Yeah, he struck gold. That's what I said. He struck gold. He said it. He said, I played with a great coach in Dan Hurley, and now I'm going to the NBA to be coached by another great coach. You got to listen to how some of these young men speak. If they speak that way and they humble, then you should already know what type of time they are. I'm older. I'm not, I don't, you know what I'm saying? It's a difference. If I was that humble at that age, it probably would have been League Me Too. This kid is different. This kid was made to be where he is today. You know, from the bloodline, the knowledge, the hard work. Stephon didn't get it right until he committed to his dad to say, Dad, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to get up every day at 5 a.m. and go work out. These are the type of things this kid committed to 8 some more years ago. So congratulations to him. I ain't going to talk y'all to death about that unless we have a topic, question, and I'm going to keep moving and speaking about most of the players that I've seen getting drafted and do they fit on the team that they going to. So give me a second. I just want to see if I could get my guy Greg, if he's not already in here. Yo, Greg, you a Spurs fan? Pull up. Pull up. We live right now. I just told him that. Hold on. Link in my bio.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I want to talk to some Spurs fans, but now let me go back now and go over the list where I was. I got off track because I was talking about RJ Cole. That's where I was. I was breaking down how when I started supporting UConn, how long ago he went to UConn, and what I seen, the way it turned around. Another thing I want to tell y'all: go on YouTube and pull up when Dan Hurley said, "Y'all better get us now." He said that because Marquette, Providence, St. John's, all them Big East teams was destroying UConn. I'm just telling y'all. He was saying stuff like that. And don't get me wrong, they did win the year before, but it's harder to win back to back. That's where I was in the conversation when I was talking about RJ Cole. They got Tristan Newton. After that, Donovan Clingan was a freshman coming in. Stephon Castle was coming in the year. After that, Hawkins was on the team. Hawkins on New Orleans Pelicans. RJ Jackson is on the Bucks. All those guys made a transition to the NBA. So you got to look at that. UConn producing a lot of NBA players right now. All right, moving right along. The second pick of the 2024 draft was Alex Sarr, if you don't already know, to the Washington Wizards, coming out of Perth. He's from France. He looks like he's developing a jump shot. He does handle the ball a little bit. He's more like a Euro big for sure. Looks like he'll be a decent player. He has good work ethic. You don't got to question if he wants to play like I spoke about earlier with the dude who Miami Heat drafted. His name was where they questioned, his motor, his determination to want to play the game. Shout out D Cool. What's good, bro? You don't have to worry about Alex Sarr's motor, his determination to play hard and want to be out there and want to improve. So shout out to Alex Sarr coming from France. And number 3, the Rockets drafted Reed Shepard from Kentucky. I know a lot of y'all familiar with him. Sharp shooter. It was already projected for the Rockets to pick up Reed Shepard. Reed checks most of the boxes. With more space in the NBA, I project Reed Shepard to produce right away due to the fact that the Rockets have drafted players who are kind of moving at a slow pace. He should have an opportunity to pick up and get some run. And if he shoots the ball as well as we predict him to shoot the ball, he should be fine on the Rockets. Number 4, like I just talked about, Stephon Castle drafted to the Spurs. I just broke down all of that stuff, so I don't have to go over that again. Being that I was already talking about Cole and the Stephon story, you understand. He fits with Wemby because he's a pass-first point guard. He's been a point guard since elementary school. And another thing I want to say, Castle was the same size as Bronny and Collier and other guards growing up. He just had very large feet. His father didn't understand. And then a few years later, he shot up. So with that being said, that's why he's so good with the basketball at 6'6", 6'7". When guards are guarding him that's smaller than him, it's not easy for them to take the ball from him because he was a guard all through his life. He wasn't somebody who was forced to play as a big. And then now, because when you're young, this is what happens. If you have a little bit of height when you're young, you're not going to be the guard on a team unless the coaches and the team you play for understand what we're talking about now, and that they know you're a guard and they're going to develop you as a guard. And have another dude playing down low, but you bringing up the ball. That's very rare because most of the time when you're young, they need height. So if you're tall, you're going to be down low. So if you played as a guard all through growing up as a kid because you didn't have height, you didn't have that problem. So you was playing in your natural position and you shoot up in height like Stephon did. That's why you get to see what you see. All right, moving right along. Pistons draft Ron Harlan. He's from the G League Ignite. He also went to school in Atlanta. Very good player. High flying player. Just like Stephon, he need a little work on his jump shot, but he do check the boxes as far as athleticism, and his IQ is decent. Very good dribbler, could get it up and down. And I think with the Pistons is another team, like I said about the Rockets, they drafting players that's kind of on a slow start. Like, one of the Thompson twins still trying to develop his jump shot. But Ron Harlan has the same issue, so I don't really understand the pick. Maybe they're just trying to see who could win out for the spot, or maybe they move one of those players moving forward. Okay? The Hornets selected Tajon Saloom. I'm not sure. I must have missed that pick. Let me see who he is. Oh, I remember him. Okay. He's from France as well. 6'9". I remember him now when they pulled up his picture. 6'9" kid. Handled the ball when they show his clips. This is another good example of when you seen the mock drafts on who they was going to pick at 6, you really didn't see anyone say his name, to be honest with you. And that's just like a spot that we probably felt like Isaiah Collier could have been in, or a couple other players that didn't get drafted in the top 20 that fell deep in the draft. And you got players like that they drafted. Like Devin Carter's another one. He came in at 13. He was drafted by the Kings. I'm not going to skip the count, but that's just an example on players that weren't bad players, but they got drafted before players that were projected to get drafted at a better position. And some of these kids were in college longer. So I think the narrative of just because you were in college for a year or two prior than the McDonald's All-American kid that just came into college, it doesn't really matter. If he balls out, the kid who's been in college for a couple years, he still could be a lottery pick. Devin Carter proved that. Edie proved that. Okay, moving right along. Blazers take Donovan Clingan. Shout out to DC. He came from UConn. I think this is a good pick for them because he's a little more agile than the big that they have over there. They got the guy that was on Phoenix. Y'all know who I'm talking about. The center. He was playing decent not too long ago, but he wasn't really making too much noise, if you ask me. Now, as far as the Knicks are concerned, I actually believe they will sign the trade. You want Cat? You want me to jump into the Knicks talk? All right, I'm going to get to that. Let me just read the rest of this for the people that don't know who went where. And then I'm going to get to that because that's a good question. And I don't think I want Cat. Because Cat, I'm going to tell you why in a second. Trailblazers drafted Clingan. Spurs drafted Rob Dillingham and traded him to the Wolves. The Wolves came off with a steal. Let's be clear. Let me see. Wolves came off with a steal. Grizzlies draft Zach Edey, which is a shock. Jazz draft Cody Williams, the other Williams brother from OKC. I'm sure y'all familiar with that. Bulls draft Matas Buzalis from the G League Ignite. Euro big. Played a 3-4, 2-3-4. He can shoot the ball and he can handle the ball. He was a McDonald's All-American in the same class with Bronny and Steph. I Seen him close play. He's a good player. Okay, moving right along. Thunder draft Nikola Topic from Sharana Zinda out of the country. He's more like a playmaker, could shoot the ball. Heard he had an injury, so he fell to the 12th pick. Okay, moving right along. Kings draft Devin Carter from Providence. You know, the short guard who wear his hair out like Prince or like he's a god. Shout out to him. Had his hair out. He was like, he knew he was going first round. Shout out Devin Carter, man. Even though Castle shut you down. All right, let's see who's next. Blazers draft Bob Carrington. And Blazers traded Bob Carrington to the Wizards, which is a great pick up for the Wizards. Wow, my camera look like it's going blurry. Excuse me, y'all. Okay, moving right along. The Heat drafted Khalil Ware. That's the kid I was talking about that I said was the big from Indiana, but they questioned his motor. Khalil Ware, the center. When I listened to what he had to say after they picked him, it was funny that he said that how happy he was to be drafted to the Heat and how happy he was to go and get to work. Sometimes when people put that smut on your name and say you this or you lazy and you get drafted, you just want to get over there and prove to that was just a narrative and that's not really who you are. And sometimes teams know that and they take a chance on you anyway and still draft you. Shout out to Ware, Khalil Ware from Indiana, getting drafted to the Heat. And shout out to Indiana. Jakai Newton is a young man that lived right across the street from Stephon Castle in Atlanta. So that's like family. He was injured last year. Very explosive guard. He went to Newton High with Stephon. Very good player. He'll be back playing this year at Indiana. And they got a new team. So look out for the Hoosiers this year. They're going to be very good. Just to help y'all out if y'all bet on them parlays. All right, moving right along. 76ers get Jared McCain. That's pretty decent. Now, the question for me was with Maxey and him, can they play together? I know he could back up Maxey. I don't know if they could play both of them together. That's a small backcourt. Have to see how that turns out. Shout out to Jared McCain. Lakers get Dalton Connect. Shout out to the Lakers for getting Connect. And I heard they draft Bronny. Moving right along. Magic draft Tristan Da Silva from Colorado. Decent player, like a Euro big, could shoot the ball. IQ, very decent. Looks like a good pick for the Magic. Magic has been doing some decent picks lately. Shout out to Orlando. Raptors drafted Jacoby Walter from Baylor. I think he's a good fit. The Raptors need some type of a dog over there. I think Jacoby could come over there and play right away because those guys over there are like kind of not suspect, but it's room for another dog over there to come and make some noise right away. Shout out to Jacoby. Hopefully he does that. Moving right along. Cavaliers draft Jalen Tyson from Cal. Congratulations, Jalen Tyson from Cal. I don't know much about Jalen. Moving right along. Pelicans draft Yusuf Missy. Shout out to Yusuf Missy. He's a client of Wiseman, the same agency that represents Castle. I happen to meet Missy. Big. He's a good kid. Could play down low. Could shoot the ball. I think he's from, I want to say, Africa, or somewhere. He's from outside the country. Decent player. Moving right along. Suns draft Deron Holmes II from Dayton, and they traded him to the Nuggets. Congratulations to Deron Holmes II. Bucks draft AJ Johnson. Oh, that kid is electric. I seen AJ Johnson play at the Iverson Classic. And boy, when I tell you, that boy could play. I'll give you a quick backstory on him. He left the country to go play overseas because he didn't want to go to college. I think he left before they started paying college players. And you look him up and you see some of his footage him playing overseas. The boy's slim, slender, handle the ball, could shoot the ball, go upstairs. I like AJ Johnson a lot. I don't say that about a lot of players unless I see something special. Look out for AJ Johnson going to the Bucks. I'm gonna just show you his picture so you can see him. And that's another thing. The Bucks came off with that. You're gonna see this kid playing right away. Mark my words, y'all. Okay, moving right along. Knicks draft Keyshawn George and traded him. That's the young man from Miami that could shoot the ball. But why did they move him? Because we don't have no room for him, maybe. They traded him to the Wizards. Knicks draft Pakum Diat, and they traded him as well. Wizards draft Dylan Jones from Weber State, and they traded to the Thunder. And did we get him? Because the Knicks name is here. Oh, it was a three-way. Okay, that was a three-way deal. Moving right along, Timberwolves drafted Terrence Shannon Jr. from Illinois. Decent player. If you don't remember who he is, he's the guy who was accused of rape and beat the charges. The girl lied on him, kind of messed up his career. He beat the charges, and now he's been drafted. Congratulations to this young man. You don't know what type of stress this man and his family went through, had to deal with the lady lying on him. Congratulations to the young man. Okay, moving right along. I'm only going to 30 because that was just yesterday. When today's finished, I'll do another one. Okay. Nuggets draft Ryan Dunn from Virginia, traded him to the Suns. In the 29th pick, the Jazz draft Isaiah Collier for USC. Thank God he got in the first round. That's my man. That's our guy. I root for him. Very good player. And his draft position just proves how the media could just spin everything and make it work out against you. Moving right along. Celtics get Baylor Shireman from Creighton. Now, I'm going to be honest with y'all. New York Knicks, and this is a good segue that we could go into the Knicks. Oh, there go Greg. There go Greg. I knew you was going to see it on there. Greg, if you want to come in with me and talk, I'll invite you in here to this. I can invite one person on YouTube if you want to come in. Good to see you, bro. Thought about you because I said, Greg, he been up here talking about Castle with me. You know what I'm saying? And he's been repping the Spurs. And you know why I respect Greg? Let me tell you why I respect people like Greg. Greg was a Spurs fan when they wasn't good, and he stayed a Spurs fan. Now, I know most of the kids switch with teams and stuff like that. Maybe it's not as hard to do that with the Spurs because the Spurs, won not too long ago. In like comparison to the Knicks, it's harder for a Knicks fan. We just stay fans because we are loyal, but it was a long time since we've seen the parade or the glory days. And the Spurs, you're not that far away from their last title. So you did say it too. I said it too, but I didn't know when you were saying it because you knew more about the picks that the Spurs had coming because you always followed the Spurs and you knew everything about the Spurs, their future picks and all that. So I think that just made it that, that was your advantage knowing why it could work, but it played out in reference to what he did. And, I think in all winning was what made the Spurs want them because they want kids who know how to win and want to sacrifice self accolades for the betterment of the team. That's what it is with the Spurs, and now we can segue into Flip Scotty dropped a lot further than expected. Yeah, he did. D cool. I talked about it earlier. I don't think you was here. He should have went back to school. See, at this point, I know it was too late because he probably had an agent. But the players who didn't get an agent, you know, it was just like the kid AJ I spoke about. They didn't even invite him to the green room. But he was drafted before players that's been talked about all year that went to college. Think about that. He didn't go to college. He went overseas. Players like Collier and all these players went to college. And he still got drafted over them. I don't usually buy jerseys, but I'm going to have to buy a Castle 5. Yeah, Greg, you know you got to buy my nephew joint. You like fam, bro. Come on. We've been talking about this for 3 years. And that's another thing. People just be on here talking. I be on here talking, but I be talking stuff that come out and really happen. That's why when you see me on here with other people, it probably be argument or disagreement because I be predicting what's going to happen. And when it comes to the Knicks, you never see me up here saying the Knicks going to win. Like L used to do when we used to go back and forth about it, right? They not going to win. I told them that. And I knew the Celtics could win now. You know why? Because a few years ago, they lost. And when you go back, it puts you in a different place to say, we was just here, we went through this, we know this. And that's why you seen them. They brought in Porzingis. They brought in different players on the Celtics to help change the team and make them better. And that's why they was able to win. So the Knicks have to go further and further. Like they did this year. Next year, do better. And the further you get, if you may luck up and win it that first year, you go far. That's how it go with injuries and all the stuff that can happen throughout a season. That's how it could play out. But the most you play, the closer it'll come out that way. The more you play, I meant to say, the more you play and you improve with your team. Like the Knicks are planning on going on a run. And we may not win this year coming, but we plan on going further. And like I just said, they can do something off of that little run, right? And if they do, and you don't win, you learn and you look at why you didn't win and the mistakes you made. So when you get back, you try not to lose the same way you lost last time. That's what the Celtics did. They did. And they changed coaches. So that goes to show I don't want to give the players all the credit because it's a team. We know it's a team, so it's a team effort. But the players deserve more credit if they could do the same thing from coming off of another coach and go right back with a new coach. And he was only there for a couple of years. So keep that in mind. I don't believe that. That ain't facts to me, D Cool. And look, so just to give you a better answer to me saying I don't agree, so it just don't, because sometimes I was just hearing somebody say this today. You know, when somebody disagrees with you, it doesn't always mean they don't like you. You know, this is my son, I got to answer this too. So what I was saying is, when somebody disagree with you, that don't mean they don't like you. That just means that they disagree with you. That could mean that they love you because they're trying to help you talk better. Yo, I'm on my pod, son. So I just didn't want to let you call me without answering. I'm on YouTube talking some about the draft and all that right now. You could pull in there and listen to me, and I'll call you as soon as I get off.
I get in the shower. Now I just came back from the gym. So no time.
All right, I'll call you as soon as I get off. All right, son. So yeah, what I was saying. My son called me. I lose all train of thought. He said he just came from the gym. That's a good thing, you know. But yeah, that's what he's talking about. Okay. This is why I don't agree. And when somebody don't agree with you, that don't mean they don't like you. That could mean they trying to help you, or you could be right, or they could be right. It don't mean we don't like each other. That's what people got to understand when you step in a forum of a conversation and it sometimes turns into a debate. I learned that if you talk about stuff a lot, you can be wrong sometimes. So guess what? I'm cool with that. That's just like if I play ball a lot, right? I'm going to miss some shots, but that's part of the game. As long as I make more shots than I miss. So if I'm up here and I make more good points than bad points, I'm good. I'm going to improve and keep improving. But back to the point to answering your question, he said, without KP, you can't see D Cool. Once you start throwing in hypotheticals, it changes the dynamic of the conversation. Because if you throwing in hypotheticals in favor of your team, and which normally Knicks fans do, right? We would have to throw in hypotheticals on the other side as well. Like, oh, but Porzingis don't get hurt. We can't say that. We can't. And we can't say we would have been better with Randall because you don't know that. That is not a fair statement to make until you see. And that takes credit for the team that did what they did. And it's only one basketball. So to break that down fair to the Randall fans, so they don't think that's a shot at Randall, right? I always preached on this show, and y'all know that teamwork and ball movement creates a winning environment. And I said this before you guys seen the Villanova guys play, because I follow college guys, and I'm sure some of y'all do too, or y'all remember hearing stories about how they won a championship. You didn't have to see them play. All you had to do was know it takes good and smart players to win a championship. And they did it more than once. Okay? So I knew that, and I've seen them play. So when they came to the Knicks, I gave the credit to the front office because I said the front office is going in a different direction. They are bringing in players who are going to make the correct decisions. I said Josh Hart is a perfect fit. DD is a perfect fit. Not because they better than this person, that person, that person. My point was that they are going to make plays that's supposed to be made, and that's what the Knicks need. And the reason what made me think about that, I was just talking about Randall, and I said before Randall fans think I'm dissing Randall, I'm breaking down why I'm saying it and how I'm saying it in reference to how another dominant big man that demands the basketball that will go like this for the ball, and nobody was doing that but Brunson, it will change the dynamic. But that doesn't mean you're going to get the same outcome. Just because you have somebody that could bring you 20 and 10, that don't mean it's going to work out the way it worked out with the other players that played and got us as far as it got us. I would have loved to see him there and us winning with him and seeing how he dealt with having regular numbers and averaging rebounds and assists because somebody else is doing work. That's what's going to happen. This is where the Knicks team is going to. Once you're a make the right play type of team, anybody could have 20 that night because they all pros. And Brunson knows he could have 30 one night, 40 one night, or 15 another night. You get what I'm saying? So that's the difference of what Randall fit, and we would have to see Randall fit. And Randall is getting older. This is my advice to Randall. I like Randall now because I think that let me tell you what made me like Randall. I'm from New York. He's not. So I understand New York, and I'm sure he does now too. But this is what made me like Julius Randle. It's very hard to play and do what he did in this type of fan base and media that come along with the New York Knicks. He put thumbs down. He had a lot of stuff to say. So this is what made me like him, because he dealt with adversity and he still turned the work out in his favor. He got paid. He's going to get paid again. He made NBA All-Team. He made All-Star. So for a player to accomplish those goals throughout adversity, you have to give him credit. It's no diss saying that he won't fit in the direction of that this team is going, because I think he's more valuable on a team that need a guy. It's teams out there that need a guy that's like, give me the ball. Now, do the Knicks need another guy like that? We do. But he has to be more like a OG or a Macau, because these are guys who would not demand the ball, would go find something else to do to help the betterment of the team when they don't have the ball. And that's the type of environment you want to have. That creates a winning environment. That means that just because you don't have 20, you still could have 20 rebounds, and you could have 5 or 8 assists. And that's the type of games that you see iHeart and Josh Hart and Didi and Brunson having. To be real with you, salute Tim coming in the building. Whoever else I didn't shout out, let me see. Shout out to everybody in the building, you know. But yeah, that's real spit. That's real spit, man. You have to understand where I'm coming from with that, you know. You know, that's like really breaking down the game and understanding, like, you know what I'm saying? Some people just say stuff. Like, look for people to say this how it's gonna go, and then that's how it go. You know, that's what you're looking for. You know what I'm saying? That's why sometimes, you know, you get a lot of challenge. You get challenged a lot. You know, when you're good at something, just like basketball, boxing, whatever you're in, you're gonna get challenged. The thing is, you got to go on the zone and just do your job. You know, and that's just like coming from the topic we speaking of, right? If you thinking too much about scoring, it's harder to score. So that's what makes pieces of salute. So that's what makes these guys like Brunson and OG and these guys get this type of money now and produce these type of numbers in the NBA, because on their mind, that's not on their mind. And it's making them produce more than a player that would be worried about their numbers, because they having balance in their numbers, not just worrying about scoring, especially if you're not a shooting guard. That shouldn't be on your mind. You know, you can average, 20 points, scoring 5 points a quarter. You know, that's a layup and a 3, or 2 free throws and a 3, or an N1 and a layup in a whole quarter. Think about that. Michael Jordan broke that down. And I think Carmelo explained that. That's why he started averaging a lot of points. He said, Michael Jordan came to me and told me, Melo, all you have to do is get 5 a quarter. 6 a quarter, that's 25. 24. See what I'm saying? So that's all you got to do. Now, how do you do that? You don't be thinking about scoring, because now they playing you different. So when it's your opportunity to score, it's going to be easier. And it's like in life, when you pressing for anything, it's harder to find. So when you don't press about it, then it's easy to obtain. That's why it's hard for some people to obtain money, because they want money too bad. Sometimes you guys say, fuck money. Make sure your bills is just paid, and then watch how your money could go up. Some people just worry about it too much. Sometimes you got to just invest it and let it work for you. Worrying sometimes make things harder to come to fruition. You know, even when I was training one of my kids today, and this is me learning in real time, right? He was slowing down to cheat the drills. So I said to him, yo, we like at a 6 right now. How we gonna get to a 7 if you slowing down? So after I said that to him, right, he started speeding up mad fast. But every time he did it, he did not make it to the shot. So I said to him, you see that? You see what I mean? I said, so only being that we do an hour every time we meet, in 3-4 meetings from now, that won't happen no more. So every time you slow down, because you see you keep splashing it, and that make you feel good, you're not going to do that in a game because you cheat in the workout. We're past the level of just making a shot. Now you got to run at game speed and dribble the ball without fumbling or messing up a little bit at game speed and stepping and knock that down. So as I'm telling him, it took him 20 minutes to get to the shot. And now he's tired because he's going at a game speed now. And he like, oh, coach, I see what you mean. I'm like, yeah, in order for us to get to the next level, to be better again, you see, if you fumbling the ball at that speed, that's where we need to be. So with anything, man, you got to be willing to put in the work. You got to have discipline. You know, that come along with it. Paris Duggan said, I like Randall now also. He was getting on the right path. After we got OG, I like Randall better than Cat. But all Brunson need now with this crew is a ball like Cat and Osceola chip. He said a ball like Cat and Osceola chip. That KP effect. Okay, I see what he's saying. I don't like Cat. I don't like Cat. I don't want to say he don't fit, because I think he probably could fit. Is it even worth talking about Cat? No diss. And I'm not dissing Cat. I'm asking because we can't get him for cheap. Like, I don't think after what we just did that we even could get Cat. If I'm wrong, correct me. But I don't think we could get him, and his fit questions me. And I think that, you know how you can tell? The Knicks are used to bigs that focus on being a big and not have to involve them too much unless they're open. Cat is the type of big that is going to demand the basketball. And that's not the type of style that we're headed. We're not headed in that direction, I don't think. The style that we headed in is Brunson could be aggressive. And this is what I think the Knicks' plan is. Brunson is so hard to guard off the bounce, right? That with bringing in Mikal Bridges and signing OG, that's going to mean that you can't leave your man to help. Y'all know that, right? So why I'm telling y'all that is just imagine, right? Brunson was almost unstoppable this season. Almost. At this size and everything he did, we have to admit it. If you're a Knicks fan or not, you have to admit Brunson is a small guard that has the Iverson effect. He has the Iverson effect. The only difference is Iverson came right out of college doing that. He was one and done. So that's why I could say Brunson got the Iverson effect. It just was a different process for Brunson. You feel me? But the confidence level of Brunson, he's a lefty. Going in that paint I'm a lefty. It's very hard to guard. If you got the ball on the string like he do. So the point I'm making with Mikal and OG on the wing, please tell me you guys know how hard it is going to be to stop Brunson, because there's no help. They can't leave. You know, even Josh Hart. He may come off the bench like he's supposed to anyway. Because y'all know that y'all saying we would win with certain players, or we could win, but we did good with players that's really not even starters material. But that makes us better. Let me tell you why. If Josh Hart come off the bench for us next season, he's been playing starter minutes. He can be one of the best players coming off the bench. And that's what happens when bench players get starter minutes because one of the starters get injured. That player turns out to be going crazy when he comes off the bench. Dante and Josh Hart coming off the bench is a deep team. I know it. I know it. Threes mean no paint issues for Brunson or Bridges. Yeah, Parrish, you're right. That means that, okay, Parrish, if you are Mikal Bridges and I'm guarding you and I see my teammate can't guard Brunson, or Brunson is putting my teammate in a blender, right? I can't rush to leave him. I can't rush to leave Bridges. That boy shoot. And the good thing about Mikal, he play on both ends. He's gonna guard the ball. So I think that's a great pickup for the Knicks, to be honest with you guys. I think the Knicks did a great job with that one. You know, Mikal Bridges, and then also re-signing OG. Hopefully, I would hope if they did that they saw his, you know, with his surgery and him going down again, that things were looking well. I heard that the Knicks hired a Dallas Maverick doctor that was very good, or he did something with Dallas. He's a new doctor with the Knicks. So I'm quite sure that they checked it thoroughly. So, but, you know, shout out to everybody here. He said, I don't want Cat either. He played too soft for New York. Right? He did, man. He said, but Will Cat is the next. He said, what? Hold on. He said, Cat is the greatest. Did you write could we afford? I thought you wrote about the money, the reference to could we. I thought you wrote in reference to could we get Brunson. I mean, not Brunson, I'm sorry. Cat. I was trying to find it. What did y'all think? That we could? I don't even think we could afford Cat, to be honest with y'all. So I don't think Cat is a great idea anyway. Talk the figures, because if we can't get them, it don't make sense to talk about them, right? Come on, y'all. Y'all know that. It don't make sense. But write some people in the chat that y'all, some other bigs that y'all think that's available if the money makes sense. He said, I think Cat making more than Brunson and Randall combined. See? Yeah, Cat make a lot of money, man. Oh, Pete, that's a good one. Andre Drummond. That's a good one. Because every team he go to on that short stint, he helps. Be honest. Be honest, he helps. Right? Keep it real with me. He helps. Make sure you hit the like button if you didn't already. If you're new here, subscribe. Share the show. Let everybody know we live. Know what I'm saying? Word. Trying to check these numbers out right now. Hold on, y'all. Customization. Hold on, let me see something. Yeah, so another thing I want to talk about, like, I think who said that? We was talking about if Randall wouldn't have been hurt, and you know how we always say if this wouldn't have happened. Let's be fair when we make them kind of statements, y'all, because if we're gonna do that for our team, we have to say that for the other team. What if Porzingis with all like that's why it's basketball and this next man up mentality. And you know, with the Knicks, right? The Knicks didn't prepare their bench until recently. And what always happened to us? Somebody get hurt, and we got to throw somebody out there that's not prepared, and they don't look right. And we make the playoffs, but we can't go on a playoff run because the guys on the bench aren't used to playing. And the great coaches, they play their bench because when you're a great coach and you building your bench the same time you building your team, right? You know in the playoffs what guys you could tap on to go out there and give you a big shot. You know, when somebody in foul trouble who you could call on because you remember what he did throughout the season to help you. But if you don't play these guys, right, you just winging it, hoping this guy could produce for you in a place with and replace what you need in the spirit of moment. Which that's what Tibbs used to do. It was crazy to me. You know, then he woke up and he started playing. Some of them guys started playing Grounds, McBride, and you know. But the only reason he did it because he had to. It's a fact. The only reason he did it because he had to. Salute Tim. Tim says, "Yo, Hard, do you think iHeart staying if he goes? Drummond definitely somebody." Yeah, Tim. Somebody just wrote that in the chat about Drummond. I agree. Drummond is a good pickup, but I don't think iHeart is staying. I said this earlier in reference to iHeart. When a player could go and get a certain amount of dollars, you never could expect him to take less money to play for your team because you starting to look at it like it's our team. Like, yo, come play for us. Like, you get what I'm saying. But you got to think the only time a player should take less money, right, if he's going to win a ring. So if you go get your right amount of money, right, when you don't win and you go home in the summer like everybody else, at least you could say you made decent money. You don't want to be somebody who take a pay cut and then still don't win, because throughout that summer it's gonna hurt you. You don't want to be like Dennis Schroeder, one of them guys playing around with the money. You know, they offering you 80 million and you like, nah, I could get this and that. Even if your agent tell you that, just take the 80. Because you could make the other 20 million through investments. The NBA turned around and he didn't get nothing. They took the deal off the table. The Lakers was going to give him that. So iHeart has to go and get the most he can get. Unless he's going to a championship team, then they'll look at him different and say he helped the championship team win a chip and contend for a chip. So that makes his next contract more lucrative for him. But that's the only way it's worth you taking less money just to play for the team that you just played for. That's why you see a lot of players just leave. It's not that they don't love the organization or love the fan base. I'm quite sure that iHeart loved the Knicks. I'm quite sure he does because he had to go through the same thing Randall went through, where it's a hate-love relationship. And now the Knicks fan base love him. So I'm sure he want to stay. But it's not about that. It's about why would I leave 10, 15, 20 million on the table because of that? It don't make sense. The Knicks are not winning the chip with iHeart if he comes back next season. Because one, it's not like we're going to have all the players that we saying we hope that they have. You know, some people feel like we hope or they hope that Randall can stay in the mix. I don't know if Randall going to be able to stay in the mix. Now, is Randall a very dominant player, all-star player still right now? If he comes back 100%, 100% he is. Yes. But if fit is everything. So Randall needs to be on a team that he could still demand the ball the way he did on the Knicks. And hopefully he can get a guard that he can mesh with well. And maybe the guard could be two and he could be one and it'll be a balance. how he feels, because he didn't feel right with the Brunson thing. Brunson is new now. You know, Brunson has the ball in his hand all the time, so Randall is just automatically two. Because if I'm coming in here and the GM and everybody that run this team is telling me it's my team, and it was your team, but the ball was in my hand, you already know how this playing out. So that's something that Randall had to deal with, and that's very hard to deal with, bro. He made all NBA and all that, so it's like at some point he probably felt like, damn, what they want me to do, I did better than I did in my whole career, and I'm still, you know, getting pushed to the side for a new guy. But that's how the NBA is. And if you are OG in the NBA, you got to know it's how many years you've been here. Okay, find a role and master the role. You had your couple years of being the man. Randall thing is, for Randall, he's a late bloomer at being the man. So when you're a late bloomer at being the man, you want to be the man longer. That's just a fact. And he's producing those kind of numbers. And it gets confusing sometimes, because that's why Randall fans and the fan base be on it like, but he does this, he does that. Obviously, all that shit don't matter. If you still hear people saying get rid of him after he's all NBA All-Star, it make people say, oh, he hating on him. No, they're entitled to their opinion, and it don't have to be hate. They see it from a different point of view. They see it the way I see it. That he would have to go in a passing team and be happy with his role, and we haven't seen him play like that in a while. That doesn't diminish him at all. That's just saying like he need to be on a team where he could get his shots up and average 20. He's still going to be the good Julius Randle. He still might be an all-star. Ain't no slight to him. But this Knicks team, when you see bringing in Bridges, they're not going in that direction. It's obvious. If anybody thinks different, please write it in the chat. We can figure it out. By the way, Cat was great against Joker. Cat is great against KP. Cat is a great second option for Brunson from the 3 key elbow and Dante OJ. I agree with what you just said. But can we afford Cat? Nobody answered that for me. I think I didn't scroll back enough to see if anybody wrote it in the chat in reference to Cat, you know, salary and the Knicks really considering bringing him in. You know, if we could sit and talk about Randall, right? You can't tell me that Cat ain't a similar situation, bro. And Randall actually been playing better than Cat these past years. I think Cat won a 3-point contest or something like that. So we don't want to, you know, judge him the wrong way. Really, I give credit to Ant-Man for making Cat play better. Because Cat wasn't even balling out until Ant-Man started balling out. Somebody had to motivate him. And it shouldn't be like that. Cat should be the one balling out. I'm not saying that he got to be the man of the team, but a young guy shouldn't have to motivate you. Oh, okay. He says signing Trey, iHeart, and Randall. So Parrish, why you didn't say that? You good with getting rid of Randall just so we could get Cat, basically what you saying. Chat, right in there and tell me what y'all think about, you know, should we keep Randall? I want to see the numbers. Let's see if we should keep Randall. Write it in the chat for me. Put a 1 if keep him, put a 2 if let him go, or put keep him or let him go. 1 is keep him, 2 is let him go. And if you watch the show later, you ain't watching the live, please comment in the chat. Should we keep him or not? Or what you think Tim said we should keep. Keep him. Tim, let me ask you a question, bro. Do you, Tim, and this is not, I'm asking you this in a way where we not saying like, I'm not asking you in a way where I'm saying like, could he play with them? I'm asking you in a sense of your basketball knowledge, right? Do you see his style of play fitting with the way it looks like in the direction the Knicks are going? Now, think about what I'm saying, because Brunson and his Villanova boys already played a certain way. It was to a point where they was only passing to each other. That's why they put another Villanova boy in the court, another Villanova brother on the court. So think about what I'm trying to say. You feel me, Tim? Randall noticed that too, bro. So could Randall play and take the role that I was saying he should take? The high road and being in the league so long, and you may be declining soon. So just get on this team, help this team, and win some championships with the Knicks. Because if Randall was to do something like that, he could help us win chips. Because you're going to need a veteran like that could get you buckets, that could do all that stuff. And he's declining soon. So he should be able to understand that. But he don't fit in my eyes in reference to the direction that the team is going, especially after they traded for Mikal Bridges. Keep Randall unless AD Cat or Zion. I don't know if Randall fit, man. I'm just saying. Shit, it's been a good talk, man. I've been on here for an hour and a half. I'm going to start doing the show every day or every other day. Real quick hour ain't going to hurt. Pete said, Drummond away better. Yeah, you're the third person that said Drummond. So I think Drummond is a good fit. You need bigs that are like Drummond, that are going to play their role, be happy with rebounding, blocking, IQ, start the break. Drummond can do all that. You can get Drummond for the low. That's what the Knicks are doing. The Knicks aren't looking to bring in somebody that's going to do more. They're not Joel Embiid. Be for real. These bigs ain't like that. So why put Cat in there and he be in his head like he could do turnaround step backs on one leg? That's what type of shit Cat be doing, God. Come on. Think about what I'm saying. Because it's one basketball. Okay? So who's starting? Let's just do 4. Because you want to keep these people. So let's do 4. Brunson, Dede deserved is got the way he just did. Let's just say for now unless we see something else. Oh, but we got Mikal. That's kind of funny. Okay, hold on. The Villanova boys, let's just do that. And OG, right? That's too. Oh, that ain't gonna work. So iHeart's coming off the bench. No, sorry. Josh Hart's coming off the bench. Hold on. Dede, Josh Hart, Brunson, Mikal. Okay, so it'll be 2 with the 3. Mikal, Brunson, and Dante might start. That's 3 Villanova boys might start. Then you got, that's a problem because OG and Mikal kind of in the same pool. We're going to have to see how that play out. I can't even say. But the point I was getting to, y'all, so y'all can understand why I didn't agree, it's one basketball. Why would you bring in somebody that's going to want to be an all-star from that position when you got Brunson, Mikal, OG? Think about that. Dante. I would keep Precious Achua because he just fit the description of the type of player that we may need. Yeah, that's my point, Tim. You can't ask a man, look, if it's a team, a person can only do but so much. He can't give you what the team need, but still want to score a whole bunch of points. No, he has to be ready to throw other teams off. Say like, no, Randall is making the right play. So once they start playing him honest and he start going to shoot, then now they got to rethink the plan on how to play Randall. Because now he's doing plays that you're not used to him doing. You know what I'm saying? He pass it right away out the double team. Just, the type of player that we're speaking of. Like a Mikal Bridges type of player. The only difference, I think, Mikal Bridges got a better jump shot than Randall. So it helps with the floor spacing. If you remember, when you watch dudes play Randall, they play Randall 3 feet away from the player. You feel me? Yeah, I'm sorry. I was reading something. So, yeah, I'm sorry, y'all. My bad. Man, if you new in here, hit the subscribe button, get the likes up. He says, simple, Will. Brunson will get what he needs out of Cat. It's not that simple, Pete Paris Duggar. I wish it was, bro. These are dudes with, this is what they do, Paris Duggar. They take our team money, act like they're going to do the right thing. They spin us, bro. So you got to, see, if I work for a team, bro, I'm going by prior and previous activity. It's like your credit score, bro. You can't act like when he take our money that he gonna be this perfect athlete, like an OG, guy don't complain, he gonna do whatever you ask. That's not the description on Cat. And like I said to you guys earlier, the Knicks are bringing in players that fit that description. Knicks need to hire me. I've been calling this shit out for the longest. And I could have showed them how to come off in this draft. You know why? Players went for scraps. Players went in the second round. That's good players. And the Knicks spent money already, so they need good players for the low. This how you come off. How you think the Lakers came off or Milwaukee came off with that kid, AJ Johnson, bro? You're going to see son get run, and he going to do a couple crosses and go upstairs and bank. Watch. Right away. He's going to play right away. Brunson Bridges. Yeah, I mean, I think once you get the right players come along with the right player. It don't got to be their college teammates or nothing like that, neither. None of that, Just, when you play right, other players can notice what you're doing and they want to play with you. That's how it go. That's how it go. So, me personally, I just call it how I see it. And that's what y'all got to start doing. Stop letting all the smoke screen shit fool you. Dude did what he did in Minnesota. What you think he doing in the garden under the bright lights? Think about it. See, you need players. All right, I give you a great example. Look at our team. Just look at our team right now, and look at the new guys they bringing in. To be fair to like Randu and certain old guys that had certain issues, right, or that have egos or attitude. Because Randu did some things, argue with his teammate, did a couple things that look negative from the outside, which ain't good. But look at the new guys that they brought in. They're very coachable. They have a high IQ, and they could play. The only problem that I have with some of these picks, is that OG, or some of these moves I meant to say, is that OG injury. I don't know, the status. I didn't know if why he was out so long with an elbow injury. If you watch the show, I used to always say, yo, what's up? An elbow take that long? But maybe he could have a certain type of elbow injury. It's serious. It's not that simple. Remember, I told you that. That's why I broke down the differences and what you see and the difference in what, we Knicks fans, you guys don't watch those other guys on a regular like you watch the Knicks. So you have a better assessment on the Knicks players because when the Knicks is on, you going right to that channel. Now, I'm not saying everybody, because some people are like me where they just want to watch certain teams play because they're not in our conference. You don't get to see them, but you're not a fan of the team. And I'm a Knicks fan like that. So when you're a Knicks fan like some of us, you don't even want to watch it if it's not your team, unless it's like playoffs and the Knicks is out already or something. So this is what I'm trying to say. What makes people like that? You know what I mean? Hold on for a second. Yeah, my bad, y'all. I had to mute it for a second. But that's the problem with me. He said space, and they all won the college rings in the same era. Now look, DD joined Villanova and won his first. He was a freshman. He was one and done too. Dante DiVincenzo, and he came out of nowhere. He came out of nowhere. So, and they were all together. He said spacing. Tim Cat is more of a center than a power forward to me. If we were to move or from Randall, I think KD will be. Oh, wow. I could pin that. I'm pinning the comment because I wanted to know. If. Hold on. I wanted to actually ask that what you guys felt about KD. Now, for me, with the KD's thing, I felt like when KD said the Knicks wasn't lit and the Knicks, he was wrong. But you have to be in the city to really understand the Brooklyn Knicks thing. And I seen a post the other day with all the jerseys that they have from Brooklyn of all the players, Harden, a lot of players, KD, right? That's what made the young boys think that, picking Brooklyn, you know, was gonna be the thing because they not from New York. But once they picked Brooklyn and they seen that, because they didn't admit it at first, they're like, nah, we got to get busy and change the narrative. Once we win, the New York Knicks fans gonna be Brooklyn fans. Come on. Kyrie and KD was on that type of time, bro. They didn't choose the Knicks. And then you see on my shorts a while back when I posted Gilbert Arenas broke the information on when he said dudes is about to come to the Knicks and the Knicks messed it up with something that they did. That's when he had to get on the phone and call the Miami Heat. And it's true because it was already rumored for that to be going on. We just never knew how true it was. Gilbert Arenas knows. He be breaking news. That's a fact. And the reason was because the New York market, LeBron and them was with that. They knew they was ready for it because they was gonna ball out. So when the Knicks messed that up, they looked at the best other move for them was the Miami Heat. Nice weather. Pat Riley. So they got Pat Riley on the phone. That's a true, so the Knicks just had some bad luck, man. Me, KD, nah, son. Let me tell you why I wouldn't want KD. I'm just a real ass Knicks fan. I've been a Knicks fan so long, bro. When we was trash. So how can you expect me to want KD? You know what he'll say? KD the type of player he's chasing clout. He's clout chasing. You keep leaving teams, bro. You clout chasing, bro. This is why I always felt this way about KD. And I have respect for Kevin Durant, his legacy. And I don't like to talk about this because it makes it sound like I am discrediting what he did. It's true because what I'm saying, even though my take is not discrediting his entire legacy, it just is not buying into leaving a team that just beat you to go win a chip and join Curry. And no, what I get from that is he's trying to go to another team and win, and it's going to be like KD did it again. Get the fuck, man! If you don't get that shit out of here, Knicks fans do not want that. We do not. We don't want to. We want a chip bad, but not that bad. We do not want to give Kevin Durant we do not want to give Kevin Durant no credit for us finally getting a chip. The only way I would, Kevin Durant, you would have to get 360 waves. Them shits better be spinning. And you gotta have on a Yankee hat to the back. And when you pull it off, you pull a do-rag off and you got 360s, you could be a Knick. I do not think you can get any waves. So with that being said, bro, no. Once you said we corny and then all this shit, Knicks ain't lit, and your shit played out the way it played out, we got the last laugh, homie. Y'all taught them the shit. They almost had to move the whole Barclay. That shit was almost going back to Jersey, the shit y'all did. You, Harden, and Kyrie, it went from look at what Brooklyn's doing to what the hell is Brooklyn doing? Yeah. In the drop of an eye. So this is the type of stuff you got to give Leon Rose and them credit for. They staying away from that kind of stuff because players that's as powerful is trying to control the narrative. Or I don't got to play or this, that, and the third. Or no, we want this because of how good they are. Until the smoke clears and you see they're not winning, why would you give them all of that? Why would you do all of that? Phoenix is seeing it now. Phoenix is seeing it now. He said it's not bad luck. It's stargazing. Knicks do too much of it to make a team. Look at the Suns. I don't think the Knicks is stargazing no more. See, the Public Enemy, you know what it is, bro? We've been Knicks fans for a long time. Too long. So what happens is we start saying the same shit because we so used to all the stuff that they put us through. Starglazing and all that. I used to say that shit. The same thing. I agree with you. But they don't do that no more. We have to admit, when you see change, one thing you have to do is admit that you see change. Because it's not easy to change. No, I'm not saying you think they need a star. I know you're saying that they starglaze all the time for the longest. That's what they do. But to be fair, they're not doing that anymore. They've been stopped that for a while. Remember, Brunson wasn't even a star when the Knicks got him. So as Knicks fans, what do? We have to take a step back and give them some more credit. Yeah, we do. Because they knew Brunson was going to be an all-star. They seen it before we did. Some people used to come on the podcast and say, Brunson is too small. He's not going to work. He's not this. That's not true. They were wrong. So with that being said, you can just look at the moves that they're making throughout how these players are playing, throughout how these players, when they come in and what they produce for us. Now, do they always get it 100% right? No, we're not talking about that. We're talking about what type of players are they bringing in. That's where we started at. Even when we talk about Cat, that's one of the main points. Yeah. Tim, I can't say who, but that's what I think, Tim. What you're explaining, Tim. He said, okay, so if Randall ain't buying in and help producing for this team the way he's supposed to, who can you see us trading him for? That's a good question, Tim. And I don't really know. I think why I was asking about the Cat money and stuff like that, because I understand what Paris, Doug, and a couple other people were saying in reference to packaging up Randall and something else to get in a piece that we may need. These guys are saying Cat, and we can make that happen, right? I wouldn't go that far as with Cat. Now, you do need somebody on Cat's level, right? But you don't need somebody mentally thinking they should be doing what he's doing. So a better way to explain what I'm saying is go and get a player that didn't make that much money yet, that's willing to take a role and he still can produce. Why do we do something like that? Because Cat's not going to produce a chip for us. So why make those type of moves? Because we can't just single Randall out. Cat is another person you got to question about fit. Why do we question Cat's fit? Cat is a guy who was a force to be reckoned with. He still is. To come on this team, not saying he would demand the ball, but that's another person that you would have to think that we have to give the ball to. Does he clog the floor? Not really, because he can hit the three, so you can have him outside, which is a plus for us because iHeart and Mitch, iHeart was decent at that because iHeart jump shot wasn't great, but he can get the ball high post, foul line, and he could pass back door. He could throw the pass. He's good at that. He may be better at that than Cat. Just because Cat can shoot, that don't mean he a better passer than iHeart. You know why? Because iHeart focused on making good passes from that point in that area of the floor because he wasn't a great shooter from there. and he's bringing his big man out. So when one of his teammate cut, he made sure he put the ball in the right spot and nobody could steal it, because he really wasn't a great shooter from that spot. So he focused on how he can make that be a part of his game that, could be utilized in the game. You know what I mean? We better, Tim said, or you attracted. So if Randall ain't buying it, he took that back. Salute. Sincere the Genius. What's good, man? I ain't see you in a while, bro. Good to see you, man. Everybody, make sure you take a second to run and smash the like button. If you already did, share the show. Let everybody know we live, man. We could get some more people in here. I'm going to just chill for a little while longer, man. Why not? Man, you know what time is it? Oh, it's 10 o'clock now. It's getting late. I've been on here for 2 hours, man. I'm going to give it another 10, 15 before I get out of here, being that we actually talking about something. I'm not just going to leave y'all like that. So we're going to keep going for another 20 at least before I get up out of here. Salute to everybody. He said, we have a better chance waiting. He said, winning the championship with Randall than the Cat. But, Tim, it's the same situation. It's the same boat. You know what I mean? Community motivation. Eddie F, what's good, man? You in the chat? You ain't write nothing. See, I can see other stuff when I go backstage. Eddie F, man, write your name if you in there. I think that's you, man. Salute to you. Good to see you, man. Canteen, what's good? Everybody in there, what's good, y'all? Hold on, I'm trying to see. My bad, y'all. My bad. Randy was all in. He's the first guy to get the Knicks back to the 90s feel. He said out his mouth, I ain't nothing like playing in MSG. I agree with you. But you could tell they not, the team don't care about that. They don't, it's a business. Let me tell you like this. The Knicks organization, they could just feel like, Randall, it's been great doing business with you. You're a great player. You don't fit the description of where this business and organization is headed. Yeah. And I'm going to tell y'all why it's coming. And don't say I ain't tell y'all most of this stuff before. Thanks, Paris. I appreciate it. Yeah. We're going to follow Steph all year and see how fast, he can make some noise with Wemby. That's going to be exciting. I want y'all to follow with me. Let me know what y'all think of how he's playing, at me, at my shorts, write comments, whatever. We all could be in a collective of making him better, critiquing and having these dialogues and discussions, breaking down the game, making players better. I'm a trainer, so that's all we do is talk basketball. Then I just came from training outside. So it's like down to the step, the footwork to the step into the shot, everything I break down. So we're going to talk about how long, how fast he's going to click with Wemby. We're going to get to break all that down. Knicks got Tyler KOLEK. I think that's a good pickup for the Knicks. And what I was saying to D Public Enemy about Randall is I think Randall does want to be here. And they lucky they didn't move him to Brooklyn. What does that mean? Brooklyn probably didn't want Randall. Because think about it. If I want to look out for Randall, let's just say that. I'm part of the front office and I want to help Randall. He's set up here. He likes it in New York, right? Where you going to send him? To Brooklyn. Maybe they ran that by him and he probably didn't want to go. I don't know. Or maybe Brooklyn didn't want Randall. Salute, Ron. Far Rock was good, bro. Yeah, you already know. Good looking. Salute. Since I feel you, but I think Randall gonna do his best to fit in. I think he really, really want to be a part of this. Sincere. Sincere, you always sincere, bro. You always sincere, bro. You always say some shit to make me want to, you know what I mean, rethink the shit. Oh, sincere. How do you know? I got a better way to put it. How do you know Randall is sincere, bro? How do you know how do you know he is as sincere as you? I know you like that one, but come on, because you always you sincere for a reason, bro. Just like how you ask your questions, bro. Randall don't sound like that. He did get a little more humble though. I could admit to that. But you guys who like Randall, you always fall for the yeah, it wasn't really like that. You can't fall for that shit, bro. You can't fall for it. He said Minnesota won the draft on game. Yo, I like how you came in. If you ain't subscribed already, Dre, subscribe, bro. I need people coming in like that all the time on gang. And we ain't on gang. We too old to be, but it's just a slang. On gang. Facts. I don't know about that. They're my top 3, though, with Dylan hand. But listen, I'm at the draft, and like I said, they took my nephew at 4. So I was already happy. And I knew they had 8. So I was like, and the agent said next to me, said, they're going to take Rob. I said, get out of here. They took Rob. Then he tapped me and he said, they're going to trade Rob. Nobody knew yet. I could have went live and said, Rob's going to be traded. I ain't say nah, just waited to see. I said, maybe he don't know neither, but he wasn't capping. Next thing you know, Spurs trade Rob to Minnesota. So I do want to say Minnesota did get a great deal. But a lot of fans who think that Minnesota got the best deal, they don't really know that the NBA people see Rob up close in the workouts, his size, his wingspan, all the things that they compare to all the players that they compare him to probably turn out to be like. You have to ask yourself, why did these players fall in the draft? Because of that. That's why they don't jump. They're not what you think they are. Now, can they still turn out to be what you think they are? 100%. But at this moment, the NBA did not see it. Maybe if workouts, attitude, I have no idea. All right, back to the subject. I just wanted to answer Dre since he was new. Dre, make sure you smash the like button and subscribe. Share the show if you could. He said, I tell you this, if Randall start ball hogging and make it about him, Tim, you hit it on the head. Look, what am I sitting here explaining, y'all? I know y'all hear me. Some of y'all been here. Some people leaving, coming back. What am I explaining? Exactly what Tim said, I'm explaining, right? And it's no slight to Tim because he in a dialogue with me. We having a conversation. I'm talking to him, but we talking to everybody. We all in the conversation. But I'm trying to tell him, I'm explaining that that's going to happen because of his history, of who he is. And what's going to make him act this way and stand and be who he is, the Knicks didn't do nothing yet. Why should he sacrifice for something that's not really proven? Or how do you know if he's comparing what he did to what they did and saying, nah, with me, that's not going to make it better? Making it better is taking a back seat and helping the best way that fits game by game. That's not the type of player Randall fits at oh, he's not in that description of that type of player, and y'all know that. He would have to mature to be that way. And are you guys expecting him to be that way just in a snap of a finger? I'm not. You know why? This is not the type of team to make Randall be that way. And Randall is the type of player that thinks he could change y'all mind. If he playing so well, then y'all got to go with this. This is working too. Now, how could that work if he be aggressive but continue to make all the right plays as well as being aggressive? That's kind of far-fetched, because when your mind frame is on being aggressive, it's hard for you to always make the right play if you're not the type of player who is a passive type of player. If you're not a pass first player, aggression doesn't mean that when you drove on your man and somebody else came that you're going to get a ball up. You're going to still feel like you can make that shot. And you might. But those are the difference. You say, I got you. I don't know if it happens. Let's see. Oh, that's what's up. I appreciate you. He said, I got you. What you mean you got me? You lost me. But you said you were a UConn fan and a Knicks fan. Wow, you need to be here then, because I'm a UConn and a Knicks fan. And, you know, like I said, Castle is my nephew. I've been supporting UConn for a while now, a few seasons. And, you know, I met a lot of people at stores, a lot of people on campus, a lot of people in the mix of UConn, a lot of friends. So we always going to talk UConn. We always going to talk Knicks. You know, my Knicks fans already know we got to talk Knicks. We got to figure this out. We always going to cover UConn. And this is called For the Love of the Game. So we like to venture off and talk about other things, sometimes hip hop, sometimes other stuff, funny stuff, boxing, baseball, whatever's really a hot topic. You know, today really was about the draft. So we just started talking about the draft, and now we just about to leave soon. So we just talking about what people asking questions in reference to they have on their mind, and I'm trying to answer, which is dope. We love conversation in the chat. People help me figure things out, and I help them figure things out. And like I said earlier, just because somebody don't agree, that don't mean we not cool. I don't like you. People like that, to me, their mentality is like, if you're gonna be smart, somebody smart had to be corrected enough to get it right. Always remember that. He said, man, I hear you about Randall. Okay. Oh, no. Okay, I see what you're saying now. So let me clarify what I mean. I don't think Randall can take a back seat because he's been so much for us and he's been so good lately. He's been all NBA and an all-star. So to ask somebody who has been doing what he's doing to take a back seat is kind of strange. And it's not that he can't, but for him to divert to passing more than shooting could be a problem. He said, now we're going to cover the Spurs. That's 100% fact. We got to cover the Spurs too. That's just, I'm going to get all Spurs fans. I got a hashtag Spurs. But that's a fact. Rome, you right. We got to cover the Spurs too. He said, just the way he talks and the way he's been moving of late. Don't get it twisted. I wanted him going. I know you did. I know you did, sincere. That's why I was joking with you on why you being sincere now about it. Like, is Randall going to be sincere? I was joking with you. I tell you this. Then Tim said that I read that. Yeah, that's the problem, Tim, the ball hogging. See, Dre, that's a good comment, but check it out. What you just said right there, Dre, is deep. Let me tell you why. That's the science right there, what you just wrote. Now, does Halliburton, and this is why, you know why I'm saying that what Dre just wrote is part of the science? That's why Randall don't fit, because of what Dre is saying. The money. Now, his comparison is Halliburton. Good comparison. Let me tell you why. Indiana just went further than anybody thought they was, unless you was an Indiana Pacers fan, right? The reason why Dre is saying that because it's great ball movement with the Indiana Pacers. Halliburton can shoot the shit out the ball. He had a great playoff run, but he passes the rock. But you don't want Brunson to be like a Halliburton and become less of a threat than what he is. Because Halliburton is very good. He may shoot a little better than Brunson, but I don't think he's better than Brunson at the point of attack. Now, is he an all-around better player than Brunson? That would be a hell of a debate. I don't know. So we figuring this out. I don't know if he's better. It will be a great breakdown. Halliburton gets everybody involved. Brunson, it's a great, and they played together on Team USA. I'm sure they sparred against each other. When the Knicks played them, Brunson had his way. It looked like Halliburton wasn't really doing too much to him. Halliburton actually stepped up after, when they beat the Knicks. He played better when he played against another guard, even though he did wind up not playing due to injury. So that kind of breaks down Halliburton. Oh, that's a good fit, Tim. Tim, marketing would be perfect. Let me tell you why marketing would be perfect. Now you talking about a four that could shoot the leather off the ball. What does that give you? More spacing. That give you more spacing. So, and that's a good fit for Randall to Utah. Even though I didn't want to do Randall dirty and ship him far somewhere like that. So that's why I said send him to Brooklyn, send him to DC. The man watching this Caitlin and her Reese. Paris Duggar, you right. Shout out to, listen, Paris Duggar. You know what I'm going to say to that? This proves that us, the people, make shit lit. Because there's no way Caitlin or WNBA was being brought up in a chat when we talking about men's basketball until now. So the people is the ones who actually make shit lit. That's why I say to y'all, like my show, subscribe. Y'all the only way we can really get in the algorithms and we can get our voices out there. Y'all make the decision on that. We can work it, but people want to listen to you and not subscribe to you, not like you. But how can I, bro, if I listen to somebody, bro, and I keep listening to them, bro, I have to like it. How can, bro, my channel got 500,000 views, bro. It's not only from shorts. My reason saying that is people actually keep coming back to watch my show but won't subscribe. What type of people is that? That's like me watching somebody's show. I don't like them, but I'm watching them. That's crazy. That's crazy. Folks, you can't be like that. If you don't like somebody, don't watch them. Don't listen to them. Shit, it's free to subscribe. You cannot watch them and just subscribe. It's putting out good energy. You may need the help back. That's all. He said, I'm believing in the Brunson effect with Randall. Nah, man. Brunson effect is Brunson effect. I said earlier in the show, right? better piece and is more of a fast-paced type of player. But let me ask you, Dre, when Halliburton played, and no excuse about no injuries, it's playoffs. When Halliburton played against Brunson, I didn't see that, bro. And to be fair, not to slight on Hallie or Brunson, to be fair, it looked more close, even though I know Brunson got the best of him. We lost. That's all people remember. But Brunson was going crazy. There's another comment I was trying to read. Hold on. We know he's a better passer. Yeah, I agree. Randall could be gone if he asks for max money because we are going to have to give Brunson a raise after the season. Yeah. Brunson is a raise already, Pete? Hold on. We're going to have money issues if we pay OG and we're going to have to pay Mikal Bridges. Minnesota picked up let me tell you, Dre, about Terry Shannon Jr. Stephon Castle, my nephew, locked him up when Illinois met them in the Elite Six or 7, whatever. But I want to give him credit dealing with what he dealt with, being accused of the case that he had to fight. So I don't want to make it seem like, he just got shut down. And he had a lot going on. But I do like the pickup. Minnesota came off in this draft. See, people don't understand Minnesota was a couple wins away from winning a chip. And they got Rob Dillingham. Come on, man. That's a steal. That's a steal. If you got a young player you could keep and groom, Rob could be something nice over there with Edwards. He said Hallie ran from Brunson. See, Dre, look what Sincere just said. He ain't capping. In fact, the problem is hard. They can't watch a podcast that keep it all the way real. They will prefer the commercial facts. Yo, it's cool. I just feel like the people make a choice on who they want to put in a position. And it's cool. Like, I understand, like, I don't go live as much as I probably should to have the proper following. Because if y'all in a conversation and y'all listening to what I'm saying, it has to make sense if we having a dialogue. I would hope if it doesn't, somebody would write in the chat and correct me. So then you may have misunderstood me, so I could better explain what I was trying to say. Because a dialogue, that's how it go. You write something in the chat, I may not fully understand. Like what's my man name? Homeboy that say he was a UConn fan. Hopefully, Dooley, you follow, and these lights is bright in my eye. That's why y'all see me doing that. And I think I got to get my glasses. But Dooley, make sure you follow and subscribe, and hit the like button. But he was asking the same thing. He was just saying something like that in reference to, hold on, I'll tell you. He said, I'm believing Brunson Randall. He said they should have been in the finals. Yeah, that's what it was. The Terrence Shannon Jr., he's a great pickup for them, Dre, for the Wolves. He's a defender. And like I said, the Wolves was a couple games from being in the finals. Where that kid he was in the Elite 8 or something, Illinois, or maybe further. So you got to look at that. He's a decent player. He had a lot going on. Minnesota definitely came off in this draft, being a couple games away from the NBA Finals. He said Terrence Shannon. Why Terrence Shannon he know her? Oh, he went to. You must know something else. But oh boy, Edwards be talking about his lady. He be talking about like he got a lady. You know what I'm saying? And when homeboy got the girl pregnant, he put her out on Instagram. Like, he wasn't really game tight, So it looked like Reese might she may need more of a G. No diss to Ant-Man. Ant-Man just overwhelmed with success and, you know, money and, you know what I'm saying? You know, Ant-Man just be saying whatever the fuck come to his mind, son. That's why people love Ant-Man. I do the same shit. You know what I mean? Whatever I think, I'm going to say, because I don't think I'm saying nothing too crazy or disrespectful anyway. We talking sports, so you ask me a question, why the fuck I can't say what I think? You know, and that's why I got to where I was getting to in reference to the commercial, and somebody wrote that in the chat, how things are commercial and they don't support the real. Tim was saying that. It's cool, but at some point, the people decide how big I get. You know, like I said, you know, one thing about me, we all learn and we all try to improve, you know, and I don't want to compete. I'd rather just support you two and we can support each other and just move on. It's not really about always competing against each other, because then now that means that you don't want to support because we're going against each other. Everybody always turn it into a competition against each other. That's why black people don't support each other. We the only race that's like that. You know that, right? Do your research. That's an inner problem. That's like, you know, all of us have to say, like, we happy for our brother's success, whoever they may be. You know, that's the way you have to be in order to even gain more success yourself. You have to be happy for other people's success. That's a part of the game. You can't be a hater. You know, you gotta have patience. All these things come along with the game. Okay, yeah, I figured that's what you were saying. She might know him. Her ex-boyfriend looks something like dude. But you think if he balls out again, we should redo his contract? I don't think we got to rush and redo Brunson's contract because of the fact that Brunson wants to be a Knick. He loves the way that the fans embraced him, the way that his career is changing right in front of his eyes. So I don't think we got to worry about Brunson. Brunson is the type of guy that will want to be a Knick. He probably would take a little less to get the other piece that we may need to take us over the hump. By the time we get there, we should know what we need. Just like I said early in the show about the Celtics. The Celtics got there not too long ago, lost to the Warriors, got right back there, changed coaches, figured out a couple additions, Porzingis, Derek White. Now they want a ring. You know, these are some of the things that other teams got to do. Try to outdo what you did the previous year. Put yourself in a better position and take it from there. Yep, crab in the bucket mentality. You got it, Sincere. You know it. That's why, just because we grow up in it, we got to speak about it and let people know that we not with it. You know, and in order for you to get blessing, you got to already be on that type of time. That's why I already am on that type of time. I'm just going to start talking about it more, because a lot of people do it to me and I don't see the reason. I don't really care though, because if you don't want to subscribe, fine. Just watch it. I'll get the view. You know, the subscribe just helps you know, let you know when I'm live, so you can watch. That's all what this shit do. Tell you I'm on, so you can know. That's what the 1,000 people, 1,100 people that subscribe, they know when I'm on. They get a notification, so if they want to come and talk their shit, boom, they get to pull up. You know what I'm saying? It's easy. You know, sometimes I be seeing 30 people here and only 5 people right in the chat. So you got secret people just want to hear what you saying, but don't want to let themselves see. That's why when I went to the studio and I seen people that I didn't even see in a while that was watching, because they show you names and stuff like that. So I was like, oh, what's up? Maybe they just want to see how you doing. They don't want to talk to you. So fine, that's cool too. This point in life, one thing I can say I'm not worried about is me worrying about speaking to people or who speak to me, or at that this part of my life, I don't care about that. I don't. If you don't want to be cool or speak, then just go ahead. You know, it's not going. I'm not going to lose no sleep on that. But the part is when you watching us and you laughing and you enjoying the content and you couldn't just hit the like button and subscribe, which don't cost you a cent. Nah, Rome. We ain't Rome. Rome Far Rock, we lived in the same. We know each other personally, bro. People I know personally. Now, I do the same shit. I be listening to Freezy or Nothing But Nicks or the Queen or certain people, and I can't even write nothing because I'm driving or I'm working and I just want to hear the content. I get that too. I'm glad you wrote that, Ron. So the people that do that don't think I'm talking about them. And it's not the people that's here. It's more the people who watch the show back. I don't think the people know that they can make it lit. Like, let me make some more moderators. Like y'all can make the show lit by sharing it, by, doing certain stuff. You know what I mean? If I seen you for a while and I feel like you should be moderating, I'm gonna just make you a moderator. You can share the show. You can do all that shit. And keep the chat right for me. Have a dialogue with me. Ask questions. Comment to some of the questions that I didn't see. Put the arrows on them. All type of shit helps out the channel. Yeah, Ron, we ain't talking about you. Certain people, you just know who they are. So you don't never have to question the F-boy shit. You know what I mean? Nah, that ain't for certain people. Even Sincere, I feel like I know Sincere, even though I never met him. So I just know he wouldn't do nothing like that. How he carry himself, how he says things. You can tell who some of these people are. I just don't say nothing. Then when I go to the studio analytics, you can see them. So they don't know all this stuff. But we don't want to make them stop watching because they know that we know. So we just saying, we're not mad. Just subscribe and hit the like button. And we can act like we don't know. Because I'm never going to say your name, anything like that, unless you in the chat. It's not fair for me to dish you because you cyber watching or whatever, you secretly watching. That ain't cool. I ain't going to put your name out there. But we know. We can see when you go in the studio. Yeah. Tim done came to games with us, Bugs. So many people I met doing this. That's what's so dope about this. We met our sponsors, doing this. So I don't listen. Good thing about it is you could go somewhere and talk your shit. You could talk your shit with me. You got a question or I got a question, we'll figure it out together. You know what I mean? Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I know people know me for real, y'all. So if you watching and you hear somebody talking about ball or this and that, you could just ask them, you grew up with Hardwill? Was he this? Was that? Tell you, man. That's why I don't talk about the work I used to put in. When you get older, you can say you play, but you ain't got to be going play by play, which you used to do. At that point, you let other people talk about all the stuff you did or how good you is and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm about to get out of here, man. I got to call my son. I don't want him to go to sleep. I'm tired too, man. Got to work in the morning. I've been on for 2.5 hours. I'm proud of myself. I'm trying to push myself. I don't see one thing about me. I could talk for 2 hours by myself. Shout out to Harlem. I was just seeing him say that. He saying he basically talked for 2 hours with no help. And I was like, I'm about to go on because I could do the same thing. I could just talk. And with the chat and, we'll have fun. We'll laugh. We'll joke. You know what I mean? I give you inside game now because nephew's on the Spurs. So, I always going to have inside game and, I'm tapped in with agents now and different things I'm going to know. So, it's just good reasons and, meaning for you to follow and want to always come tap in. I'm an OG that played from New York. Like I said, my nephew, Stephon Castle. I know likes of Stephon Marbury, Skip to My Lou, Elton Brand, Kareem Reed. The list goes on. Dudes know me by first name. You know what I mean? So I'm not somebody up here that's just trying to trick you. You know what I mean? I'm gonna give good game, and we share game, and we meet each other. We can network, and then we make this big, because real ones know what's real. You know what I mean? When you talk and when you communicate and you say certain things. Like Dre, I don't know if I know Dre, but it feel like the way he come in and he show love and he move and he say his comments, he enjoying his little, you know, his chill out. Maybe he burning it down or whatever. He just chilling before he do him. But this is what it's about. This is shit that I like to do. Whoever show it could be. I want to go in there and be in the chat, talk my shit real quick, or say what's up to this person or what's up to this person. That's what it is. Either way you look at it, that's ways of showing love. So if you really look at it, if you have fun doing it, that's who you should be. Never revert back to doing sucker shit. Because we always wonder why things don't work out for us, right? People try to show us the right way, or even God, but we revert back to doing the wrong shit. You know why? Because we programmed to do wrong more than do good. So don't be a sucker. If you see you having fun doing something, be man enough to admit it and have fun doing it. That's sucker shit when you want to hide your hand and not enjoy yourself. And, you know, you're going to come in here and have a real conversation with me. You know what I'm saying? Regardless. Because I was taught, I'm a real one the way I was taught. We was taught before the internet. You know, if anybody, you know what, I always say this. I was at the Iverson game when my nephew played in the Iverson game. And Kareem Reed was the coach. The best kept secret. Kareem Reed. So after the game, he walked over. He didn't recognize me. I'm going to tell y'all the real story. I gave him that and I said, yo, what up? My name is Jahard. He stopped and said, Jahard. Swear to God. Castle standing right there. Stacy Castle, which is Stephon Pops, and my nephew. She's like, yeah, you know Jahard? She's like, yeah, Jahard. So my nephew like, oh shit, like Kareem Reed know about my uncle. It's just examples like your work will always speak, even when you ain't alive no more. So always continue to put in work. Like right now, talking to y'all, I'm putting in work. You know why? Because there's some real G's gonna hear this and say, nah, I fuck with Hardwill. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I be at my lowest where I need somebody to talk to. You know what I'm saying? So I got to learn how to come on here, turn this shit on, and tell y'all what's bothering me. That's what real niggas do. Tell y'all what's bothering me so we can chop it up right here and then it's done. You know what I mean? That's the type of platforms you need to have. Or yo, who should we trade for? Yo, we you know what I mean? Sports, boxing, music. That's what it is around here, man. So it was a great show today. I had fun. I met some new people. Hopefully they come back and chop it up and check on me. You know what I mean? If you watch the show, if you're a rewatcher, write your name in there so I can know who you is. I want to get to know everybody, man. I'm from Queens, New York. Grew up in Queens, New York. Like I said, if you a Spurs fan, I'm going to put the hashtag Spurs in there. My nephew played for the Spurs now and be covering the Spurs. You know what I mean? Let's bring this together, man. We all come together. If I go, I'm bringing my moderators. I'm bringing my subscribers with me. You know what I mean? When I say that, I'm talking tickets, merch, game, cash app, whatever you may need. I'm bringing everybody with me. So we're going to start a movement that way because it seemed like nobody giving nobody nothing. Nobody really even giving game. So I'm a show you what I'm giving you to make you want to subscribe instead of me just asking you to subscribe. I'm giving game. I'm giving free merch, tickets. You know what I mean? If I ask a question in here, I don't have to Google. If I can't remember a player name, if you write it in the chat, I may cash app you or give you a Hardwill shirt. You know what I'm saying? I got the Brunson. If you knew or you don't know, I made the Brunson hoodie. I got one of the flyest Brunson hoodies there is. Let me just show it on the page real quick before we get up out of here. You know, I make merch. So, you know, just to let y'all know, you know, the Hardwill website got nothing but quality. You know what I mean? I just don't force feed y'all. You know, these are some of my hoodies right here. Where the Brunson hoodie at? Hold on, give me 1 second before I get up out of here. And if you got any connection to Brunson, we need to get him his hoodie. Because he been running so busy, we ain't even get a chance to give Brunson his hoodie. No cap. Gotta get Brunson his hoodie, man. You know what I'm saying? I know most of y'all seen the Brunson hoodie. I just want to show maybe a couple new people that's in the here that didn't see it, could see it. And then the back, city on my back with the HARDWILL on the wall, with the city bike, with the cabs with the KNICKS logo. We dropping this in t-shirts coming up as well. It's gonna be in all colors, white. That was just a denim hoodie I put it on. You know, those are sold out, maybe a couple left. You know, did that just to do a shirt for Brunson. I felt like Brunson was gonna really do something, and he did. So just want to say shout out Brunson for things working out in his favor. I'm real happy for the Brunson family. And thanks, Tim, on the show. Good to see you, Sincere. And you, Tim, good to see you. Paris Duggar, good to see you as well. That's me and he said, that's me in basketball. Well, I was the next Willie Mays. Oh, he's saying baseball, my bad. I was the next Willie Mays. I was honored. He died on my birthday. Wow. I copy everything about him. Oh, I didn't know that, Paris, man. Salute to you, man. That's dope. Salute to you, Parrish, because I know the way you talk in here and the way you say things that you wouldn't just say anything. So if you had that type of drive to even be compared to, sometimes some dudes is just as great. They never recognize. So shout out to you, because I know you wouldn't say that if that's not true. So shout out to you. Yeah, nah. My nephew's so big, man. He got he on Wiseman. He on the same agency as Shay Gill and all of them. So I don't really have to do that. You know, I ain't really worried about that stuff if I don't have to be, because whatever's destined for me is going to be. I don't want to say I need to make his merch because I make merch. He's so big. Some things are already, it's a machine. So it's somebody that does that or does, you know what I mean? So it's part of his deals already where they roll all things out. I probably could have asked to be a part of it, but sometimes it's good to just fall back and let whatever's meant for you happen for you. Instead of trying to force yourself to do something, it could be something else that's meant for me, coming for me, and I'd rather be that. I'm probably going to be staying in the training lane. I love to train, so I'm looking probably to train with an agency or in the NBA. So that's really what I do, liking to see a player not be able to do something and show them how to do it. You know, that's a God-given talent, or when you, it's like studying and learning and you know how to do it. So it's like you can make money for the rest of your life off knowledge. So that's something that I want to do. Thanks. I appreciate it. Tim, you know what? You text me. I might have a 3X black. If I do, that might be the last one. So if so, you know, and I'll hold it. And when we, you know, or ship it to you or whatever, we'll figure it out. But I'll check for you to let you know, because I think I might have one more in that size. If I do, you got it, Tim. And it's only $70 right now. It was $100. I lowered the price because it's summer now. So it's only at $70 with free shipping. So, all right, Sincere, enjoy the rest of your night. Be safe. I'll see you soon, bro. Pete, Tim, great chopping it up with you. You already know. And whoever else is in the background, Rome Far Rock, Dre, thanks again. Everybody that's here who was here before, if you're watching the show on the rewatch, make sure you write in the chat what's good, HARDWILL. You can write congratulations to my nephew getting drafted to the Spurs. That would even be cool. Any way to show love. We pushing love, not on no fake Diddy shit. We pushing love for real positive vibes. You know what's happening? I be so positive sometimes that negativity be trying to find me. But you know what somebody told me? I'm so much in the lead that it gets harder and harder to win when you're doing that. So the more positive you stay and the more people try to attack you or antagonize you or say things to you, when you just trying to be positive and take you off your square, don't let them or force you to crash out and take steps back and being a better person that you want to be. People always try to spin things and point and blame you to be the bad guy. But you always got to ask yourself, if you checked yourself at the door and said you don't want to have this issue or you don't want to do this, and you know you did that and something still happened, that means that you winning and you doing it right. So they trying their hardest to make you crash out and go the other way. So this is advice for anybody that's trying to be a better person and they already becoming a better person, but they just keep seeing little stuff antagonize them or try to pull them the other way. That's like in anywhere in life. And you seen, I'll give you an example, that meme with the guy walking the other way with his diamond, the hatchet, whatever they use, the chip diamonds, whatever that's called. The man is walking in the opposite direction, like he gave up. And the guy on the bottom part of the meme, he hit the rocks a couple more times and the diamonds fell. Same thing, bro. Same thing. Even if you down to your last, that's probably the last test. As many dudes came up from $1,000 to $100,000. Always remember that. So never let nobody keep you in the box. Never let nobody say who you are if they're not taking the time out to really assess who you are. Because that's not fair to yourself. And for anybody that want to change to be better, that's hard enough alone because it's 60-40 of the negative person that you trying to, not be anymore still there that you're dealing with. So that being said, some people have mental health and need someone to talk to. We could talk about that stuff too. So, stay positive, man. Don't let nobody make you crash out. Don't let nobody, and I ain't talking about crashing out, arguing over sports or nothing like that. I feel like when we talk about sports and we argue over that, that's just testosterone. If you take that too personal, you soft. That's just always how I felt. Because I come from where we used to fight over Biggie, Jay-Z, or Nas. Not because we wanted to fight, because that's how the argument went. Was it right? No, but that's the shit that really happened. So as a grown man, I can't get mad because you think this and I think this and want to fight you. No, it's not even going to make me dislike you because that's your opinion. We may yell about it, but after that's over, I'm not going to be mad at you. That's just grown man real shit. Once you step in a forum about sports, that should be a mandatory for a real one. Because guess what? You stop learning once you always right. You perfect now. You don't need to learn nothing. You always right? That shit don't even make sense, bro. Nobody's always right. So we always learn it. And there you have it, man. I'm going to try to start giving more and more game like that. Because a lot of people is going through them type of issues, but they don't know where to go talk about them at. I even go through them type of issues, bro. And people sit on the outside and think, I'm perfect or this, that. Nah, bro. It ain't even about money. It ain't even about accolades when some people deal with that. It's just that they be really on the horizon of overcoming all the demons or all the shit that they've been dealing with in their life, and the devil go harder to pull you back, bro. That could be people. That could be whatever. You just got to know you striving to be better so you don't never let that happen to you. Because the more you get it, the more negative shit coming up on your feed or in your face. Trust me. It's double negative than positive. So you got to expect that. And then when you see it in front of you, this is what make it more dangerous. When you see it, you know it's happening. So it gets scary because you're calling it out. But that just know you know what you're seeing. You know what you're doing. So don't let it affect you. Don't let it make you crash out. Don't let it make you be a person that you don't want to be. Feel me? And I'm out of here with that, man. You know what I mean? Facts. Yeah, we go back to laughing. Yeah, and sincere. We only talking about when we was young. When we get older, we don't do that Because when you older and you do that, if I gotta fight you now, I might have to kill you. You know, if you put your hands on me at this age, that's different. I'm not talking about that. You know, stand your ground, all type of shit. We talking about growing up, younger men. That's how we grew up, you know, and that should protect you from going to that level of it if you know where you came from, because that's where you don't want to go no more. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, I had a great time chopping it up with y'all, and I think I'm gonna start using this more as my therapy, because I could just talk about what I'm going through to y'all, so y'all could feel like y'all could talk to me, and vice versa, and you learn from the experience in the whole. Because once a man that talk to you that you may think is stronger than you make himself vulnerable, then you could be honest about the things that you may go through, and then we both can learn, because that's what it takes. Dudes don't want to tell nobody what they go through, because they feel like it make them vulnerable, or it's going to make somebody talk about them, or guess what, that don't matter. When you talk about it and you get off your chest, you feel like a better man. Just like when you cry, you feel like a better man. So you holding those feelings in, it don't make you a better person. So with that being said, from now on, I'm gonna talk about these type of things throughout the show. So if somebody needs some motivation, some positive thinking, because I be needing it, and I say, being that family, you can't really always get it from family for some weird reason, then get it from a stranger. So with that being said, I'm glad I came on to think about that, because sometimes when I talk, I think of good ideas. But the problem is we have so many good ideas, we share them and we don't put them to use for ourselves. So sometimes you got to hear yourself dropping real G knowledge, and you have to implement those ideas for yourself. Because people talking because they got a problem, but they don't know that they solving their own problem in real time. So, you know, you could have family members getting drafted, all type of shit, and still be going through shit. Trust me. One thing don't got nothing to do with the other. So like I said, we could all come here and talk about it and hash it out like brothers, and get some knowledge, and be stronger mentally and physically together. And you never know what type of business we could do. We could have a mall, for the love of the game mall, whatever we want to call it. I'll bring everybody with me. But yo, like I said, man, I'll be back on here for a fact, because it's for the people that stay with me and talk with me and made me feel the way I feel. I'm going to feel obligated to come back and chop it up with y'all. So if not tomorrow, by Saturday, I promise I will be back on so we could chop it up again. If it's any breaking news or whatever the case may be, we're going to change this narrative, man. And it just comes from working and letting people really see who I am and how my mind works and how I think. Because I'm the fairest person ever. I'm just honest about what it is and who I am. And I was always taught to respect honesty, because I would rather somebody tell me the truth than lie in my face, even if the truth hurt. All right. So I know I shouted everybody out already. So I'm going to just get up out of here, because I stayed an extra let me see, 2.5. So I stayed an extra hour and a half, because I was only going to do an hour. So I'm happy that I did. It helped me feel better about some things, and some things I felt like I could come and we could chop it up about. So have a good night, y'all. Be safe. Y'all know I shouted everybody out. If you're a rewatcher, I asked to put numbers in the chat about what you think about the Randall thing. You know, introduce yourself. Congratulate my nephew. Let me know if you think Stephon Castle and Wemby is a good fit. Let me know if you think Dalton Connect is a good fit with the Lakers. If you watch this far, you might as well write something in the comment section. All right? All right, y'all. Peace. Be safe. Stay out the way. Remember, positive time.